What's going on, everyone? My name's Ketchup, joined by Wonder Chef, and you're watching PlayStation Tournaments Fight Night, where today, because we're here, you've probably already guessed the game, Mortal Kombat 11. And, to be fair, Chef, I feel like since we've started doing the Fight Nights, we have started to see really a continuation of that old and new kind of mixed bag of players. And we have the bracket ready to go pretty much immediately. And on that note, we'll look at the fact that there's a bunch of players here that you'll know, but there are some players that you might not be so familiar with, and also their character choices. I believe we have a couple of noob cybots here, don't we?
Oh, we do. There are actually a lot of really interesting characters here. A lot of characters that I think we maybe don't see all that often, but I mean, some of those characters are from players that we see pretty often, and players that I always love to see. I mean, our first match of the day includes Merco, who obviously is one of my favorite players to watch of all time, and then later on we have Macaran, who's one of my favorite players of all time, so I'm very excited to see them, of course, playing their usual Scorpion and Scarlet, but we've got multiple Scorpions today, we've got noob cybots today, we've got another player on the same team as Macaran, who is Esoteric, playing Aaron Black, who I haven't seen in such a long time. We've got, of course, there's Gollywomp there playing Baraka. So if you're interested in watching some Mortal Kombat 11 that has some of the characters that I think maybe we saw a little bit more at the start of the game and haven't seen for a while, this is going to be your day.
Now, on that note, let's talk about prize money. You know, players have had to reach this point and they've been invited here to compete. It's going to be $200 for that first place, $100 for second, and then we sort of go down a little bit as we progress throughout the, I guess, the later end of where the top 8 players will place. But if you're able to sort of place in that higher area, I guess we'll say, you take the lion's share. That's how it's been for years, and that's how it's going to continue to be. On that note, though, I feel like it's worth, as we've now just started the show, to remind everyone that PlayStation Tournaments is something that anyone can get involved in, as long as you are within the correct region, you meet the requirements. All of it can be found on compete.playstation.com. The competition center gives you all the information, the instructions, on top of the fact that there's tutorial videos, tech videos, player interviews, pretty much you name it. There is a ton of exclusive content. So enough of that, Chef, because I think it's time we jump into our first match. However, I'll let you run the people through at home. It's a bit different today. It's double elimination, but things get a little bit more old school, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, this should be pretty familiar for people who have watched a lot of other fighting games or played other fighting games and tournaments, because we're going to be doing 2 out of 3 instead of the usual MK11 3 out of 5 up until we get to the grand finals, winners finals, and finals, which will be 3 out of 5 as usual. But this is, you know, kind of a path that MK11 could have taken earlier on, so I'm really excited to see how players play differently. There's going to be less counter picks. You know, there's a lot less time to kind of play that counter pick war. But I think actually we're probably going to see a lot of character loyalists today regardless. I'm excited to see how it plays out, but like you said, we do have our first match of the day. Players that I highlighted earlier, which of course I cannot talk enough about, which is Merco, one of the greatest Scorpions literally of all time in Mortal Kombat 11. At this point, you know, with everybody kind of scattered across the globe, it's hard to say who the best is, but Merco easily, in my eyes, is in contention for the best Scorpion of all time in this game, and that says a lot.
It really does, with Scorpion being as much of a common character as he is. I know he's not widely considered, you know, one of the strongest characters in the game. I know some people think that he's kind of okay. I think if we're looking at competitively, Scorpion does have some tools, but I think that he is one of those characters that people have never really, like, truly believed in, if we're talking about, you know, the Jokers, the Fujins, the Jackies. However, Ibrahim, his opponent, someone that, truthfully, I am not as familiar with, but we do know that there are some top-level NetherRealm players that always hail from Turkey. We've seen it before across multiple games, and we're seeing it even now with players that have actually been present in PlayStation tournaments before. So I'm willing to bet that to be at this point in the tournament, Ibrahim's going to have some tricks up their sleeve. A Noob Saibot, a player that I think can do quite well versus Scorpion. Above all else, it's because he just hits incredibly hard. If you're gonna play Scorpion, you have to have a bit of a volatile nature. He's a bit of a risk taker's character, although Merco does not play him as risky as he once did. If you take any kind of decision and it doesn't work, Noob Saibot has some of the highest practical damage in the game, and you know, 3+ years down the line, Noob Saibot players have those optimals down to a science. So you get hit, you're taking about 40% per touch. You've got to watch out and respect it.
Yeah, it's so weird thinking back, exactly like what you were saying on Merco's old playstyle, let's say back in MKX days, and looking to now, because, you know, starting off today, I was thinking like, oh yeah, Merco plays so safe, this is going to be tough, you know, you're going to have to play a lot of neutral, but back in the day, Merco was a little bit of a wild child, let's just say, in a lot of the online tournaments.
He was a young man. That's how young players always start off, you know, they're always aggressive, they want to hit buttons. I know it's Friday the 13th today, Jason's in the other game, but that's where Merco started his journey as Hellfire Scorpion, and it was the most volatile, unpredictable, don't know how his hands did it kind of character. But that was some time ago. Let's see how things have developed since then. Yo, that noob Cybot trip. That noob Cybot looks sick. I'm a fan. Oh, the heat. The heat.
All right, I like this. I like this to start off, though. And I do like, oh, way to start off. Two crushing blows immediately. And we didn't even actually see what there is. We do have the air hook, so we are going to get some, a little bit more juggle damage. I didn't see if there was the amp teleport.
No, I think we're off to a good start, though. The reason being is that Scorpion's going to stagger that pressure. A lot of it's going to come from highs. So, I mean, hey, we'll just stick out a down two every now and then and see what happens. The rewards are quite massive, especially if you cancel a teleport or something. But I got to say, I'm in a bit of a weird situation right now, Chef. Normally, I would be able to detect the variation Merco's playing by looking at his costume. Looks to me like he's had a bit of a drip change, so I'm going to have to relearn the whole thing. Oh, the anti-air does not work out. And Ibrahim on the verge of losing this first round. Challenges the plus frames, forward 3Cs to that, but already one round down.
Round two.
Yeah, really need a flawless block right there. It was kind of the only way to escape that. But yeah, Merco using the same costumes for the same variations for literally like a year and a half, and now one that we're not used to seeing. But we did see the air neutral jump punch type move. Something I can't remember what it's called. Sin Blade. No, that's not Sin Blade. Oh my gosh! All my
you're right. No,
it is Sin Blade. It is. Yeah, so we saw Sin Blade, and I don't know what else though. I assume teleport cancel, but I guess we'll have to see. Right now, just doesn't need any. Just play neutral. Oh, the crushing blow.
And this is going to be all Merco right now. Sin Blade coming in just to give us that extra combo damage. Such a good tool, you know, meaty plus frames, and actually one more touch and we're pretty much in business. This could be where Ibrahim starts going in with a bit more unpredictable stuff, maybe. Just kind of throw the kitchen sink at them if you're this weak. No, confirmed! That is tragic. Now look, here is an extra dynamic. We talk about the mixture of old and new. Don't want to sound disrespectful to the, you know, describe Ibrahim as a new player. I simply mean we haven't really seen him play in PlayStation tournaments, and I can't say I've seen them all that much in various other events either. Maybe I just haven't caught the right ones. My point is, we see Merco here pretty much every single time, and we've seen him every time for at least 2 years. He's been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, he's comfortable. Ibrahim might not be so much. So a simple 1-1-3 confirm when you're down around and getting overwhelmed and nothing comes out, that degree of an execution fumble just screams tense, you know, uncomfortable perhaps. We've all been there. You can do that 10 times, 100 times blindfolded, but the moment you're in tournament, these simple combos just don't come out and you're like, wait, I got to wake up, man. This is not working out at all. Hopefully he can do that.
Yeah, especially the first game of the day, you know, it's you get here and you're the first one on stream, and of course you're playing against such a well-known player like Merco, which is always going to be a little bit of a scary thing, and, you know, it doesn't matter who you are, it should be a scary thing to fight against Merco, but, oh, again, we saw a little bit of an input error there. It was a good time to swing, but not the right button, or maybe just not the full string. Oh, standing for a whip punish.
Yep. I think that was a combination of whiff punish and at the same time just kind of, oh wow, overcommits, no punish on that. Eee, that's tragic. That's the whole back 3-string rip. You don't see that a lot from noob cyber players these days. Cancel into that back 3. The cheeky business lets it go. Here comes a punish though now. What's it going to be? Oh my lord. Look. This is nerves. I promise you this is nerves. I've seen it before. I've been there, done that. This is not the true Ibrahim that we're looking at so far. This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you can tell it is too because, again, the moments that Ibrahim is choosing to swing are really good, but it's just not confirmed and it's not the damage, which is, of course, going to be one of the biggest things, right? You were literally just talking about how Noob is one of the highest damage characters, so you need that damage, otherwise you're just playing, like, base character 1.
No, exactly. I'm just looking at what's happening so far, and I saw that. Oh my lord! Dark, we're going max damage. I feel like this match is already over. All we can do so far is just describe what kind of led it to be at this point. And I do strongly believe that even down to... Oh, no! Even down to small things like landing that 1-1-3 teleport, nothing, and then a late 1-1-3. I feel like maybe there was an attempt to go for the optimal, you know, 1-1-3 whip and stuff like that. Didn't it? But what we saw instead was a second guess, decided not to do it, and then in the heat of the moment tried to do 1-1-3 a little bit later and whiffed it, because that's clearly not a combo that he does all the time. He normally probably goes for the optimal stuff. Probably going to be disappointed with that performance. And all I can say is nerves happen to everyone, and these kind of tournaments will allow you to conquer them. Don't be discouraged. This happens to the best of them, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, again, just to reiterate, I mean, I really do think there was a lot of, like, potential shown there. I mean, look at that. An amazing start off to the set. We saw a lot of moments where the hits were chosen at the right time, right? Even in the very final set, we saw, for example, like, we saw the back two that punished the teleport on reaction, which was beautiful, and we saw the anti-air on the jump over. It's just that no damage was being really earned from any of those hits, so it's just such an unfortunate, like, set of drops or set of input errors or, you know, set of nerves or whatever it was, because the gameplay wasn't bad. You see, just like that, just finding the right moments, but you know Merco's ready. Merco's ready 100% of the time. This is just another day in the office for Merco, basically. Just playing that Scorpion that he's been so consistent with for what feels like a million years now. But again, you know, this is 2 out of 3, so that was the entire set, and that's, I mean, it's hard to even get used to for me, who's, you know, comes in a ton of fighting games and is used to 2 out of 3, but I'm like, wait a minute, that's it already? But that makes it so much tougher, right? You know, if there wasn't another game in a little bit of a longer set, maybe Ibrahim could have made that little bit of adjustment. Luckily, there is, of course, a lower bracket, so there's going to be plenty of time for Ibrahim to kind of wake up, get that execution going, and I'm really excited to see what they can pull off a little bit later in the tournament, if they can make it back. Not going to be easy.
No, I'm curious as well, because it kind of just goes back to players that we might not have seen all that much. How often have they played on stream? How often have they been in the top 8? How often have they gone against the likes of Merco, round 1 of said top 8? There are so many questions to be answered, but if being off stream in that first round of lower bracket gives them that peace of mind, I think, to kind of let loose and play a little bit more like they know they can, I think actually maybe being in that stage early on might be more beneficial, because you can just focus on the game and that's it. There's no external things that will put pressure on you. Now, our next match, excited for this one, Esoteric. I've not seen this player in some time, but I've known of them for a long time. I've always seen them around. I've always seen them compete. Zippery, another player that I'm not so familiar with. This is always a strange day where I tend to know a fair amount of the European players, let alone the UK players, and at this point there are still UK players coming up that I don't know either. It's like, what's going on here? But from one noob cybot to another, we're going in again.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see this. I mean, Noob is a character that we don't see really all that often anymore. I feel like we used to see a lot more Noob. For a while, it was like a really good counter, potentially, to upgraded Jackie. People were trying to figure stuff out. Especially early in the game, there were a lot of top players that were trying out Noob, but later in the game, it seems like we've seen it less, and I'm excited to see it more. But on the other side, we do have Esoteric. So, like you said, a player that I've seen around and heard, but I haven't really had a chance to see too many of their full sets. I know that they've had a pretty good amount of success in a lot of other different, like, community online tournaments, and so it is a player that I'm familiar with, but I'm excited to see an entire set or an entire tournament with them. And Lao, you know, also a character that I mean still is around, but probably the weirdest thing is that Lao's probably the most popular character, tournament character, that we're seeing today, maybe with Scorpion, but neither one super common, but one that I always like to see.
Now, every player has the chance to fill in a survey. Essentially, it gives us a little bit more information on them. And this is where I do recognize Eso from. One of the highlights is reaching top 3 in Rips Arena. For those that don't know about Rips Arena, it's the biggest European sort of community tournament series that takes place. It's fantastic stuff, and there's, you know, a mixture of guest commentators. There's always a huge bag of EU and CIS getting involved. They've recently opened it up to, I believe, internationals, where now we have like a 2v2 league, and there's North American players in the mix. It's really good stuff. My point is that being able to get involved and reach that late of a stage in something like that is a big achievement. And actually a new talking point, sorry. is that Kung Lao, he's kind of fallen out of favor as time's gone on. You need to be really passionate about the character to use him these days. He's got really good damage, but damage is really his most annoying side of things, right? Because if you play irritating and then have the damaging combos on top, that's great, but he's very risky. And hang on, Buzzsaw. Ultimate. We're MK11 Ultimate right now.
Yeah, no, Buzzsaw, that was kind of the last time that we saw Lao in favor, was right when Buzzsaw came out, nobody knew how to fight it, everybody was like, what is this? Hold on.
Before the changes to Wake Up happened too, and it kind of nerfed his grab game quite a bit too.
Oh, yeah.
I know Liu Kang, but I'm hardly sinful.
Death will purge your pride.
Round
Oh, he didn't even have a comeback for that. He's just like, okay. Yeah, okay, you're not sinful. That's okay.
Kung Lao's like, dude, where did you hear that? And he's like, I don't know, I heard that somewhere.
He just changed
my
the
lord Shinnok made it up.
Alright, well, right now we are going to have the projectile war for sure, but you gotta be careful here. We did see the air teleport. Hello, thank you exactly for showing that off, which is a little bit faster, so you're going to see it as a pretty nice counter to some of these projectiles, so I don't think we're going to see the full zoning from Lao.
I'm very curious over what new Cybox options will be for the Buzzsaw up close, because that's one of the few things. Oh, tries the immediate breakaway and the dive kick says no. A little bit of a reminder that this is Kung Lao you're fighting. Those jump kicks, you really have to hold them. There's no way you're going to get away with it. But my point is,
Round 2.
Buzzsaw Lao, one of the variations you have to lab, and if you haven't, you are in deep trouble. Lovely anti-yellow, I like that. That'll kind of cover bases, right? Jump kick or dive kick, that'll deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, Lao known as one of the most airborne characters in the game, but Noob known as having some of the best anti-airs in the game, so far we've seen that work out pretty well. The instant teleport, that wasn't even a grounded teleport. Somebody who likes teleporting for sure. Not a move that we even see that much from Lao anymore, or ever pretty much in this game, because it's usually so slow, but it's working.
Not in this game. Kung Lao's teleport, not what it once was, but it's working! KB! We take that, and oh my lord. Oh wait, no, there's no defensive bar, you're in trouble. That down two had to be done. Oh wait, counter hit!
Okay, hold on. Just one hit and a fatal blow. This is still totally possible. Oh, I like the attempt.
What's Lao gonna do? What's he gonna do? Nothing. Uh-oh. Ah!
Oh, what was that? What was that?
I think it had to be a missed input. It had to have been.
I don't know, maybe there's secret tech where you can grab the hat, you just grab it and you throw it back at them.
Stop it in the air and then you just throw it back, yeah. Do you remember MKX? Do you remember MKX had that really short-lived bug where Kung Lao could lose his hat permanently?
Yes.
I remember that. I can't even remember how. I can't even remember how you did it, but that was so funny. I'd never seen Kung Lao without a hat before, and it just completely crippled him. It was funny memories, but swiftly patched out. Shout out to NetherRealm for getting rid of it. But yeah, I mean that matchup was well played actually from Zippery. It just came down to some kind of choke at the end. We kind of look at what the potentials were there. The back one came through, and the counter happened on the wake up roll. The only thing was maybe that could have been fatal blow to get a bit more damage and put a bit more pressure on, but I think he just really wanted that full screen presence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, I really like the option of going for the amp slide and then kind of like pressuring afterwards with the fatal blow to see if they're moving. I think that was a really smart choice. It didn't work out because it was really good patience from Esoteric, but I don't think it was badly played at all. I do feel, however, that Esoteric is really controlling the neutral super strongly here, and I like the fact that we're seeing Zippery press maybe like more buttons here and be a little bit more active because, I mean, well, first of all, those teleports need to get punished, but aside from that, it's just been total control from Lao.
Speaking of which, though, it does look like there has been a variation change, or keep a keen eye on the moves that have been taken. What's it going to be, I suppose, and will we even have a chance to see it? Here's that Buzzsaw. Lets it rock. No meter to amplify it, so you just have to take that for what it is. Chip damage, the safety, the pushback. Again, I like that check, and oh, that's what I was worried about. He stays in place. I mean, that hat's going to come back in some way. That teleport. I have never seen that teleport hit so many people, Chef, in one game.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that teleport hit, like, the last, how many have hit so far? Like 5 or 6? The last 6 teleports that I've seen have, like, gone all the way back to, like, 2019. Oh, my gosh, the down 2 punish. Said, okay, no, you can't teleport. I'm the teleporter here. Oh, wow.
And it chases the roll. And this is clearly Eso used to playing this Buzzsaw game, and escape failed. Oh, doesn't matter. I already missed it. I got hit, definitely.
Oh, now there's just a little bit left. That's that. Yep, and that's going to be the entire set. I mean, Zippery had things going on, but I think maybe wasn't quite used to fighting the Buzzsaw, which is, oh wow, the first friendship of the day to choo-choo, play with your trains. You deserve it, Lau. But you're going to have a lot of time to play with trains later. Honestly, yeah, the Buzzsaw play was really strong, but you have to know all the specifics. Like, we saw the attempts there, like trying to teleport past it, which may not have been like a lack of knowledge. It may have been a thought that it was just going to be normal Buzzsaw, but the Ant Buzzsaw there was perfect because Ant Buzzsaw is super smart. It always knows where you are. And then just like rolling into the Buzzsaw and just not able to do the teleports. That's the weirdest one for me because, you know, we saw a lot of good play from Zippery. Like the pressure was there, the mid-range was there, but it's such a common thing to just, you know, jab Lau out of that pretty slow teleport. We didn't see it once.
It's not every day that you see Kung Lao controlling Noob Cybot in the neutral, I will be honest. Noob known for having that strong grounded game, but he has options to deal with airborne opponents that are being unpredictable. We did see, I think, a bit of a perhaps knowledge check in that first game. You know, that dive kick, armor breaking on 2 separate occasions. I actually think changing teleport in that one specific instance hurt him because going in with the air teleport normally, at the very least, Noob Cybot's constantly flying around with you. It doesn't launch, it does damage, sure, but he's at least moving around, so maybe the hat was going to miss him. The second you take the launching telly and Noob just throws you through the portal and just stares at you for a few seconds, that Buzzsaw is going to have a great time with that because you can't move. You're going to get hit for free. Now we go from one specialist to another. Macaran, the world's greatest Scarlet player, going up against Joao, I believe, is how you pronounce the chap's first name. I'm really, really bad with pronunciation, so I apologize in advance, but we're going to be seeing some more new blood into the fray.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, it's kind of a cool thing because we have players from all over the world here. I mean, here we have Macaran, who I was already up talking so much today because truly is one of my favorite players, coming from Austria, and the Scarlet God. I mean, I think it's kind of unquestionable now that Macaran's the best Scarlet. I don't know if we actually have anybody who's like popped up who might be potentially like in that spot as well, but at least for me, from that I've seen, nobody has come close to Macaran. Just such a pro with that character. And on the other hand, like you said, you know, we're going to try our best to pronounce it. It's a very global tournament here, which is part of what's so sick about it. But Joao playing the Scorpion, which is a matchup that Macaran for sure has played 100 billion times in the past. Specifically, also too, a lot against Merco. But for whatever reason, Europe just has, the European region just has so many good Scorpions. It's just something to do with, I don't know, the overall play style, which is always really fun to watch. But Macaran, you know, especially as a zoning player, knows how to get around the teleports and is going to be able to get some really heavy punishes if it's a little bit more of an unsafe play style. And it's hard to play the safe play style as well as somebody safe like Merco.
There's just something about Europe with the Netherrealm scene, which has just always been that way, is the sheer degree of people that will just pick their favorite character and ride or die, really, especially in something like MK11, where if they like playing a certain character, they'll do it regardless. Now, we do know that Macaran does play other characters, and I believe there might even be some secret alternates that one day we'll see. Truthfully, though, don't think we'll see anything other than Scarlet today. I'm looking at the players we've got in this bracket, and I'm looking at the potential opponents and the characters we've already seen. I don't think anything here will scream Scarlet's not going to be able to get the job done. Macaran versus Merco is probably going to be our grand finals today, to be honest. So it probably will be Scarlet all the way through.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. But, you know, we'll see. There's always the potential for upsets, especially in these PlayStation tournaments. We see so many different things. Wow, look at that. That was like full screen pressure. And that's really how you got to play Scarlet. Wow. Oh, immediately teleporting with the Blood Ball. Macaran is not leaving anything to fate here. Another teleport. This is more aggressive than I've seen Macaran in a while. But again, Scorpion has that teleport that you can just react to so many projectiles with. Oh, no. Conversion. Good breakaway.
There was definitely some kind of attempt to either whiff punish or maybe flawless block that forward 3-4. You know, getting hit by that, probably not part of the plan. Looking for a trade, actually, to shut that down. I like that. Teleporting out the corner. Down one low poke. And we're getting so much information from this first round alone. Well, there's that low. Good check. But the push back into the active frames for down one. These are specialist techniques that we're seeing so far. Waits for the teleport. -5. That's going to be a free turn once again. Dash up throw. Immediately challenges it. Joao, I think, just convinced that Macaran wasn't going to do the same thing twice. Was correct. That 2-on-2 is going to seal the deal for that first round, and pretty good so far.
Round 2.
Yeah, pretty good on both sides, honestly. Joao has found some really good moments to throw in particular. What the heck? That was interesting. Going for the teleport there again. This is a really interesting style from Macaran. Again, I really have not seen him play in this style. Usually it's going to be, you know, converting into that damage. You do get quite a bit, but oh my gosh, still wasn't able to get punished. This is a weird game for Macaran for sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened there though, Chef. So the first 2 times I believe the 4-4 or the 2-hit kick, whatever it is, connected, I think the teleport was to try and get advantage from a breakaway. Did it twice, no breakaway, tried teleporting both of those times. Third time landed a similar string, confirmed into boiling point, and then the breakaway happened. I feel like Macaran must have just sat there and just, that's one of those things where it happens and you're like, ugh, okay, well at least the meter's gone now. Got it at some point, but yeah, a clean game 1 and a great display of the Scorpion matchup. Macaran, we talked about it before, played this matchup thousands of times, perhaps. There's going to have to be some real special secrets if Joao's going to be able to take out Macaran here. Not to sound biased, it's just from what we've seen.
Yeah. I mean, Macaran, one of the most successful players in like recent times, especially in these tournaments, these online tournaments for EU. So it's not like saying like, oh yeah, like this is biased. We're rooting for Macaran. It's just Macaran is kind of one of the players to beat. Like you said, probably going to be in grand finals. Wouldn't be surprising at all if it was Merco versus Macaran. But we'll see if there are some more moments that we can find from Joao. Because honestly, again, there were a lot of really good moments. I think it was mostly just falling to the pressure. But also, people are not really, wow, that was not even a confirm, I think. That was just, oh no, that was a confirm. Wow, nice, good. You get that super late. I did not know that.
Ooh, looking to maybe catch that roll, but a bit too early perhaps. That down 1 anti-crosser. That down 1 anti-air just pays for itself when Macaran chooses it. Perfect read on a wake up! And that's just really bad to worse for poor old Joao, because that was meter used and punished. So really couldn't have been worse. Now here comes Macaran on that match point already. Staggering it perhaps, going in for, which would have been plus frames if he finished the string. Oh, the anti-air from so far away, and the break! Oh God, it hurts so good.
Wow. Yeah, okay, there we go. This is a really good opportunity to start some pressure. Didn't go for really very much. There was full offensive bar, maybe expecting a breakaway. Didn't want to get punished for the spear, but here we go.
Oh, that was sick.
Now a chance to spend it. Oh, no full combo, but this pressure's still going pretty strong. Or not. Oh, no breakaway. This is going to be a lot of damage.
And with the damage that Boiling Point brings forward, anything into Fatal Blow is going to be a done deal, and you know Macaran's looking for that. You know it.
Yeah, but we get...
I like that. The punish! Oh, God!
Yeah, you can't throw that out. It is so unsafe. Oh, and just gets clipped. Jumping. Good usage, of course, of the Blood Tentacle right there, knowing that that was going to catch that exact specific situation. But again, that's really a character specialist thing. And again, Joao did find some really good hits in that game. And, you know, there weren't a lot of drops. It was like a lot of really intentional stuff, like using the 1-1-2 as an ender just in case there was a breakaway in that situation. And then when there was the breakaway afterwards, then cashing out with all the meters. So honestly, the play from Joao was really good. But like we said, Macaran is so good at Scorpion. I mean, if we had to choose a player to fight against Scorpion, you know, I think Macaran would be in the top 5. Like, if we had to save the human race by a whole enemy alien race of Scorpion players, Macaran would for sure be in my 5v5 team.
Gotta say, I want to give Joao the respect he deserves. I think going in, there was some rather quick adaptations, especially in that final match, even down to small details, going for a cross-up jump in and getting down 1 anti-aired the next time the jump in took place. Like right there, right? That was a jump in 2, I think, and it got anti-aired. The next time in this match, we saw a jump in the same situation. He went in for a jump kick, had already confirmed into teleport because he knew the anti-air was coming and he knew the jump kick was going to stuff it. So there were some impressive on-the-spot adaptations. Impressive stuff, but you're going up against Macaran. And that really is what it comes down to. You're fighting one of the best in the world, the best Scarlet in the business. It was a good showing, but Macaran is Macaran. And I think that's really all you can say about that.
Yeah, I actually am really liking so far seeing this 2 out of 3, and I mean we've actually seen a lot of 2-0s, and we're going to look to a next one, but you got to adapt really quickly, and we'll see if we can in the next match. It's going to be Gollywomp taking on Size and Knives, which is now I think this is maybe the first match where both players are at least known. Not going to be too many big surprises here, but I mean the big surprise, of course, is that we are going to have, of course, Gollywomp playing the Baraka, another character that we are just not as used to seeing in tournament. I mean, especially, you know, we see the like Laos and the Noobs and the Scorpions sometimes, but I mean, Baraka, so rare. However, specifically Europe, I think, has come out with a lot of strong Baraka players over time. And the other side, I don't even know what character this is.
I was about to say, what about this matchup, dude? We have Aaron Black versus Baraka. Genuinely, in tournament, I mean, Combat League, I think anything goes, but I can't remember the last time in tournament I saw Baraka fight Aaron Black at all. So this is going to be a nice little break. Just while we get into this match, by the way, I did see a stream chat comment that says, were the matching shirts intentional or was that a happy accident? Definitely a happy accident. We went into the rehearsal today and we're both just like, oh god, we're both hilariously on brand. There's so much blue, but we're just going to have to rock it all the way until the end of the day. But thank you for noticing. Now, Aaron Black versus Baraka, I don't even know what variations we're going to see. I don't even know what variations you would take.
I mean, that's one of the cool things about Baraka for me. I'm a big Baraka fan, is that there are so many different ways that you can build out the character. Aaron Black, there's a few things we expect. We expect the launcher. We might expect the acid pour, but we'll see. Baraka, on the other hand, you know, we've seen the mix-up Baraka. We've seen the high damage Baraka. We've seen, like, Blade Charge used. Even Berserker is pretty good. But let's see. We're going to see Blade Charge, Leg Kebab, and Banner Bash? Banner Bash? I think I maybe have never seen that ever used in tournament. On the other side, we have the Command Grab, Scud Shot, and the Launch. So we've got the Command Grab on one side and the Banner Bash. Okay, this is,
right.
I want to say bizarre, but this is really cool to see.
So the last time myself and Ultra David saw this, we asked about it in particular because we had no idea why the Banner Bash would be used. Dolly actually ended up getting back to us. Oh dear, don't break. Actually didn't confirm it into anything. That was a free blade charge, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, it came down to corner pressure, apparently. The 1-1-2 game in the corner becomes very, very effective, apparently. Didn't get a chance to see it last time we had a show, but maybe today that changes and we can see some new Baraka tech.
Made my day.
Yeah, I mean, this, again, like you said, this is a matchup that I'm just not used to seeing at all, especially with both of them using their particular moves that they've chosen. But here we go. There's the mix. That Leg Kebab is going to be one of the main tools you want to use. It's pretty safe, but there we go. Yeah, I guess it's... I actually don't know the frame rate on Banner Bash. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen that move actually attempted to be used since, like, the beta for the game.
And that will be a competitive edge. In this kind of situation, if someone's using a move that you're not used to, you might have to kind of like try and deal with it on the fly. We saw that when we started seeing collector players use the Relic Lure for the first time. No one knew how to punish that move. Some people still don't know how to punish that move because no one uses it.
Yeah, true.
Oh, you're dead.
No, yeah, that's it. That is so unfortunate. Committed to the entire string, but caught Gollywomp jumping. And so it had that kind of weird situation of like instantly falling out of the combo and then the full string that was punished. And yeah, you want to cash out there no matter what. So good choice by Gollywomp. Yeah, totally stolen out of the hands of Sides and Knives. But so far, it's been a really defensive Aaron Black game, which is not a way that we see Aaron Black play too much. Wow, raw charge.
Yeah, that's just something Baraka players love to do. Hit it from like the max distance and it comes up with weird. Yo, catching that stand in one. Cattle toss immediately coming out to play. I quite like this variation that Golly's put forward because at the end of the day, if the corner is where you want to be for Banner Bash, having the option to constantly reposition with both Blade Charge and Leg Kebab means that I think Baraka's in a lot of control over putting you in the corner more than he would before. However, does it get the 2-1? That's a shame. Good start though.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky combo, but I mean everything else is hitting just so well right now. The pressure, the punishes, but all
right, here we go.
Yeah,
party time maybe.
All right, one grab, back in the corner, of course. I want to see the Banner Bash. There it is. Oh, that feels like it's got to be unsafe, but I don't think that Size of Knives knows. It looks like looks a little hesitant, I would say, which I would be too to try and punish him. Oh, the acid, yeah, there's no getting out of that. GG. The classic character to do that. We used to have the Caltrops once upon a time. It's nice to see it happen again.
The Fox finish. Gotta say, I mean, I'm kind of waiting to see Banner Bash used on hit in the corner, right? I think 1-1-2, I think it combos into it. So, on block, maybe, we'll see what happens here. And actually, a good block! They counterbook immediately, though, and immediately with that flawless block, we take extra damage. Even then, 1-1, stagger game, beautiful, great. However, needs more than that! Oh god, the chop chop!
Meaty chop chop on wake up. What is this? This really is 2019. Oh, the breakaway, but you're still gonna have advantage. Yeah, this is the chance for a comeback. Not gonna have too much to cash out on here. Just the extra damage, of course, from the acid. Nice, good defense. Oh my god, this gunshot cancels. This really is 2019. What are we looking at here? Oh, but
And at the same time,
yep.
it was that forward 3 too. No, what, forward 3 as well, not forward 3-2. Actually, maybe that is the string. I don't know.
It is forward 3-2. Yeah.
Oh, I could have got away with it. But my point was, he didn't have meter to flawless block launch it, so it wasn't worth it. But is that it? No, 1%.
Oh no!
Oh my lord! No!
Oh, we don't see that brutal very often. I mean, you got to get the actual like zoning kill with Baraka. I mean, to be fair, Blade Spark is a really good projectile, but that was really scary. I mean, there were so many different things that could have been done there. There was, I mean, you could have even just like amped Scud Shot, or just, you know, even just thrown out Scud Shot normally and just chilled and waited until there was something super risky. I think there was one defensive bar left. I'm not sure. It all moved pretty quickly, but overall, maybe just a little bit of an input error and maybe trying to duck the projectile and then hit afterwards, but regardless, got hit by it. And that was honestly a pretty close match. This is really interesting. This is one of the most interesting matches I think I've seen in a long time. Both players playing pretty uniquely, but pretty, I mean, both very well. Just, it does feel like we transported back in time.
I love creativity, you know, and I always have done. Anyone that's able to put forward like slightly different moves, slightly different variations. I know that different variations can be considered kind of just layer 1 creativity, because all you're doing is taking new moves, but it's how those moves change the way you approach the entire character that really sings to me. Rest in peace, Suhao. I've been playing a lot of 3D MK recently, so seeing that Suhao head just makes me giggle. It really does.
Snap your neck.
We have like almost every single player letting the intros rock. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm about it. Wow, down for anti-air. That's cool to see. And we've seen a lot of really patient Oki from Sides and Knives, which I really like to see. We've seen like maybe 3 up 3s blocks set alone, but oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, punishing that cancel was going to be very, very important information for us to have. In this case, though, here we go again. Lets it rip, spends meter to do so, just to stay nice and safe, keep it going. That anti-air down 4 has been pretty important so far. That's now 2 separate times it's done it. However, tries to press afterwards and immediately challenged. That mix-up between the leg kebab and the built-in overheads of those strings haven't been super beneficial yet. There's still time. Oh, choose it!
Yeah, went for the up 2 right there. Didn't expect that string, but the string hit so many times in a row, and that's a lot of bar off the table. And then, of course, the round for Sides and Knives. And realistically, I would say that Gollywomp has, I wouldn't call them lucky at all, but Gollywomp has really stolen some rounds so far. Like, I felt like Sides and Knives had the lead and the kill, like, position in, like, 3 different rounds, and yet Gollywomp is up a game.
However, there we go, starting things off a little bit strong, but it is those low pokes of Aaron Black. So strong, and always have been. Extra damage as well. Eesh, an extra 4%, you're just never ready for how much more damage that will do. Uh-oh, okay.
Yeah, that's such a good knockdown, and of course the can actually crushing blow for one of the strongest crushing blows in the game. But nice, goes for the overhead. The first time we've seen the back 2 pretty much this
fatal blow territory.
Adding up, yeah. That might be it.
Boom.
Yeah. Easy conversion. Yeah.
Take full credit for that one.
Yeah, we have all the players here in Discord with us, and you know, we're just talking to them about what they should be doing. I'm just kidding. They cannot hear us unless they're watching the stream, but there was no way they would be able to react that fast. Of course, Gollywomp is a well-known Baraka, so just like, for example, Macaran earlier, is going to know all the situations to perfectly convert everything.
Aaron Black, competitively not a very popular character anymore, but still popular in the world of online, so definitely a matchup that you're going to be familiar with, and those just... Ooh. Out in the neutral, and actually, wait a minute, that hurts. And Sides, he had to hold it. If you tried to break that, Blade Charge is going to totally crush it. Speaking of which, saves the crushing blow, instead opts to go for the other launch. Get the meter away from Baraka first. But no, the mix-ups! I talked about them working out now. You know, this is where it's finally doing it, and that chip damage is fantastic. And that plus as well. Good thing Sides did not press a button there. He might have been in big trouble.
Yeah, this is match point right here. Can't take any more damage. I mean, the little bits of damage is adding up. Nice.
No!
Wait, does that not work? Why did that not combo? It could have.
I don't know. No, he's gonna be he is gonna be mad about that. Was that a time? Oh no, don't get the cake out. He already feels bad enough that it missed. Here comes Baraka. Good thing he's wearing a helmet. Anyway, what happened there? Was it like you're meant to do just the first hit of that string? Does it drop if you do the second one? Did he do it late? What happened there? I want to know.
I have no idea. I mean, there was once upon a time where I know that for sure worked because Aaron Black's Fatal Blow was a lot faster. Nowadays, you know, there's a little slower. Got slowed down one of the patches. I honestly don't have any idea what the real conversion you should have done there was. I'd have to assume if it was just the forward 3 would have worked, or if even maybe just raw Fatal Blow would have worked. But it's really unfortunate to see. And again, you know, like I said, Gollywomp, obviously an amazing player, and especially it shows how amazing they are that they take advantage of all these situations. But it still feels like Gollywomp stole the win from Size and Knives like almost every single round. You know, it wasn't like just like a dominant gameplay. It was just really Gollywomp waiting for those opportunities and then taking full advantage of them, which is honestly in its own way kind of more impressive. I mean, especially, you know, you get that drop like that and then you manage to win the full screen game twice against Aaron Black with Scudshot. That is not an easy thing to do. So really good stuff to Gollywomp. But honestly, Size and Knives played extremely well. It still feels like, to me, like Size and Knives was up in most of the set, and I would be really surprised if we didn't see more Size and Knives a little bit later in the bracket, which is the nice thing, of course, about this double elim. Just those final moments. That's really all it came down to, and it was every time Gollywomp.
It really seemed like just, although both players were very, very strong, it was a chaotic match, and I think Golly was just more in control of that chaos when it happened. There were a fair few scrambles, and it doesn't feel like luck or a coincidence that during said scrambles, he was able to be, oh, what happened? I still, even watching it back, I really don't know what could have made that work and what made it not. Either way, Scythe will need to take a little bit of time to just kind of recover from that, because that is a frustrating way to lose your upper bracket advantage. But we can now see Esoteric versus Merco as our next matchup. Scorpion versus Kung Lao, no doubt, and then Golly versus Macaran. All right, these next matches are kind of spicy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next like upper semi matches, but also honestly in the lower bracket, like every single player put up a really good fight. It was just a lot of like weird moments for a lot of them, so I'm really excited to see who makes it through that, because I feel like once they fight through that lower bracket, whoever makes it out will be the one who's kind of like solidified their game plan again, and they're like in the zone again, and I think they're going to be like way more of a killer than we saw before that.
Well, on that note, I want to remind everybody that you yourself can get involved in PlayStation tournaments, not just for Mortal Kombat 11, but there are other games included, other fighting games, other games of different genres. It's all kind of found over on the competition center, compete.playstation.com. You can see it at the bottom of your screen here. It gives links to how to get involved, how to take part. It's all done through the system. It's a pretty cutting edge and nifty. Wish I had it back in the day when I used to play, before I got washed up. That's jellyfish, washed up. Good funny joke. On that note, we're going to go for a short break, and when we return, our next stage of matches will begin. This is PlayStation Tournaments Fight Nights MK11. Thanks, and we'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. You're currently watching PlayStation
It looks
Tournament
like you
Fight
might be
Nights.
muted. Maybe you're just muted in my ear. One way or another. Sorry. I just want to make sure.
No. All right,
There you
actually,
go.
just want a quick disclaimer, right? A little bit of my own personal behind the scenes. I've got two microphones. I've got this one, which I can hear, that comes through what you can hear. And I've got one down here, which is like higher quality that I use for the show. I think the stream got it, but I'll just do it again. Cut, take two. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching PlayStation Tournament Fight Nights, where our next set of upper bracket matches are about to take place. We're going to find out who's going to be winners finals. We'll take a look at that bracket. There have been some off-stream results happening as well, of which we'll update you. And it's been a good day so far, Chef.
It has. Sorry for interrupting you earlier. I just wanted to make sure that I heard all of your wonderful
That's
comments.
all right, mate.
About the
That's
game.
all right.
But we did have some off-stream matches playing out. Zippery did eliminate Ibrahim, and then Sides and Knives did eliminate Joao. So we've had all 2-0s throughout this tournament. That is very bizarre. I mean, we're used to in MK seeing a lot of really close sets, but this has just been a really fast-paced tournament. And I still got to say, I mean, everybody has been putting up quite a fight. I'm really excited to see who comes out of the lower bracket, but first we got to look up and see who's going to win between Merco and Esoteric, which I think should be one of the better matches that we have today.
It's going to come down to damage in some capacity. You know, Kung Lao, again, a character that's just known for hitting pretty damn hard, but at the same time, looking at the Buzzsaw, and that's on the understanding that maybe we'll see Buzzsaw come out to play again. I don't know. Maybe there are multiple variations here to play. And if Buzzsaw is used, what kind of options does Scorpion have? I know of like some like key characters that can work around Buzzsaw quite well. Something like a Geras Sand Trap, for example, where he becomes invincible and becomes immune to it. Some characters have moves that can swap sides kind of just at the right time, where the hat will just go the opposite way. Like, I've seen those Twitter clips all over the place, but when it comes to universal cast options, there really isn't any. You just need to know the exact option, of which Merco, I mean, look, if there's a Scorpion player that's going to know it, probably going to be him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what the options are. I mean, there have to be at least some variation options that will work, but you know, I could expect something like maybe like if you really are worried, you can just teleport cancel to the other side and just try to take advantage, or maybe we might see something like you know, we've seen a few different times that people have brought out like the flame breath, or you know, actually Scorpion has that fireball that I want to see more variation wise, but I don't know if it's going to be necessary. It might just be like, you know, you might even just say, you know what, I'll hold the pressure, I'll just wait, I'll be patient, I'll flawless block it, because Merco does tend to be a very, very patient player on defense, so maybe there isn't even a specific option that we're going to see him go to all that much. And honestly, we don't even know if it's going to be Buzzsaw. I guess we'll have to see. Of course, a lot of Lao players do kind of switch back and forth between the variations, but so far we've only seen Buzzsaw.
I think I saw Buzzsaw and Possessed Hat, and yes, there it is. And by going in with the Reaper variation that Merco basically renamed Searing Rage, we already know that it's going to be Searing Rage. But I saw a couple of variations there, but they all seem to stem from Buzzsaw in some way, so I guess we'll find out how that's going to go. Now, again, still in the 2 out of 3 realm. Oh, God, we started off strong, it seems.
Yeah, that is one heck of a way to start this off, and I do think it's interesting the fact that we saw Merco start off with the sort of Searing Rage type variation, because it's not what we're using. However, maybe the spin is the answer to the hat. I'm not 100% sure, or maybe, you know, just want the damage. Oh, wow, it just lands right into that. It's so hard to deal with the hat. It just stays for so long.
You failed to impress.
Merco having to show a lot of respect already, but immediately actually countering it with that cactus. Rub them all up on it. That's so bad. Oof. Side twitching throw. Make it through, be a little bit more unpredictable with that direction. And Merco right now, flawless block on the hat to negate the chip, and there it is. I think that's a trade he'll take at this point. Trade a bar for a bar, I'll get more damage than you, and we'll kind of go back to neutral, where I've been pretty comfortable so far.
Yeah, especially when you have the lead, but now it's getting pretty low, so this is a pretty scary situation. Again, has to respect, no, fatal blow whiffing, and of course the perfect conversion to punish it. That is super unfortunate. I mean, I love the idea there, but it is so hard to anti-allow. That jump arc is so good, and now Merco going down the first round. Esoteric really showing off.
I think that was a worthy attempt, use the armor of the fatal blow, and especially the fact that Scorpion's kind of has that arcing hitbox in front of him that maybe would have caught him trying to go through and pressure. Didn't work out, but at the very least, maybe he's still going to have the fatal blow, so he might be able to save it for a rainy day. Important capitalization, though, from Eso. At this point, here comes that buzzsaw for yet another time. And it's just so... it's not being used for pressure, really, as much as it is just freezing things up and allowing him to go in for another time. But Merco, he's being patient and respectful, but he has to shut down that hat from being used. Don't let him do a string, right? If you can keep that pressure on, whether it's going to be plus frames, staggers, anything that stops him from just getting the hat out.
Well, I think we just saw the, oh yeah, what is these like raw spins that we're seeing in neutral? This is really interesting, but we've seen it kind of a lot of times here. I want to see if we're going to see it again. That's actually what I think Merco got thrown out of.
Oh my lord.
No. Yeah,
he was so quick and he still couldn't get it. How's that for recovery?
Yeah. Oh, that might be it. I didn't see the starting life. Okay, not quite. Chip is available, but runs into the hat. There's really not much that you can do in that situation. That is so tough. Maybe you need to be like a flawless block up 3, but at that point you're just respecting for so long that you might just get punished for it, guaranteed no matter what. But wow, a really dominant game from Esoteric. This was not exactly the way that I expected it to go, but this is very, very well played. Clearly a lot of Scorpion experience here.
And on the opposite end, we're seeing a lot of experience from Merco as well, right? And from this point, it becomes the matchup. It really, really does. The buzzsaw is the one specific thing that is causing all this headache for Merco. He's doing what he can to play around it, but at the end of the day, it's not allowing him to pressure the way he wants to. It's not allowing him to take punishes when he normally would, because that hat's always there. So the question is, what do you do to work around that? Because the thing, every time Merco got up close, the second Eso had a turn to take, he took it. And he turned that string into a buzzsaw, and that buzzsaw either became free pressure for him, which would lead into buttons, grabs, whatever, or he'll go for the amplified version of buzzsaw. Merco will teleport. Yeah, he'll get some damage, but they both get knocked down, and it just puts us straight back at square one. There's no momentum. It's shutting down all the momentum.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Merco usually so good anti-airing, but all these, wow, what the heck, standing too, just out of nowhere. Didn't get a conversion off of it, but there we go, another chance to whiff punish. And like I was gonna say, just not opportunity to like flawless block these amazing jump kicks that Lau has, because it's exactly like this. The pressure starts with a hat every time. That hat is ridiculous. Wow, but it worked.
Able to steal away a down one from that whiff 2-1 string as well. Stagger game continues, and actually more emphasis on grabs than before, and I like that. The more grabs you go for, the higher chance you have of Eso to flinch and try and press a button. If he does that, you get string into confirm. So clearly this adaptation was, I need to mix up my pressure to give it more on my side. I need my turns more often.
Yeah, but this is so scary. In the corner against the buzzsaw. This is literally one of the scariest positions that you can be in this game. Oh no! Took himself out of the corner by just blocking the jump over. I mean, that's such a good position. I'm surprised that Esoteric decided to do that, and that's going to be that chip death. No, yeah, there we go. That might have been a drop. That probably should have been the spin earlier. That's what I expected. That's why I said chip death. But Merco, I don't know. Interesting usage of the spin right now. Maybe not used to using this variation quite yet after using all the other ones.
I don't know. He uses it more than most I see these days. I definitely, I'm with you. I thought he was going to do spin earlier, but hey, look, I guess he won the round. Oh, and the short hop too. His whole game of pressure has been so much more unpredictable. Eso is just getting overwhelmed, and this is nowhere near the first game. In that first game, there was neutral. There was a little bit of a back and forth. In that match, it was just obliteration.
I think, was that a flawless? Hold on, let's see. Oh, no, wait, I don't think it was. I don't know even if there must have been some down one of Chip or something, but that was as close as you can get to a flawless. Yeah, that was a huge turnaround. I mean, it looked like Merco was kind of like figuring things out maybe in the first round there, but then within that second round, I mean, that was just 100% pressure. And there were a lot of reads there, the things were going to hit that were like hard commits too. Like we saw the 4-3-2, which is that little overhead that you only get in that variation. And because we know it's this variation, there is no teleport cancel. There's no way to make that safe. So there was just like a commitment that it was going to hit. And guess what? It did. So I think Merco is in that spot now where he's just like, okay, I get it. I know how you think. I know how you work defensively. And yeah, that is the best way to deal with hat. never let them throw it out because you always on pressure yourself. You know, the best defense is a good offense is, you know, an age-old line, but it really is the truth. Like, how do I get out of the situation? Don't be in it in the first place.
And that has prompted some thought in character select. Look at that. He gave it a little bit of time, and at the same time was hovering over some variations that didn't even have the buzzsaw. So I think that the game plan there of not allowing him to even get the buzzsaw started, that might have put some thought into Esso's head. Clearly has decided to persevere and go with the buzzsaw anyway. You know, matchups are not black and white. There's always more things you can do. Kind of like how the first game, Merco had no chance to get anything started and just overwhelmed, you know, and it was basically, I'm going to have the most unpredictable pressure I can to make sure he never gets the chance. And actually, a bit worried about Eso. I think he's being super trigger happy with his meat.
Hailspawn.
Oh no, yeah, that is true. It's definitely a little bit heavy on the meter spendage, and that means we are already done with a round very, very quickly. I also want to point out that we did see a little bit of a switch back to the air teleport, which we might see the instant air teleport at a point in this match. If, that's a big if, Esoteric can ever actually get out of the corner. Okay, we are going to see that. Nice. Oh, that was almost a really good conversion. It got amplified a little bit late and actually got to pick up again, so we do see a good amount of damage, but huge crushing blow on the other side. Okay, just gonna be patience on both sides here. Both of them backing up. There is the air teleport, and again, it's gonna hit. I don't know why. So far, we are at a 100% success rate out of like, I want to say like 8 teleports. Maybe it's only been like 6 or 7, but we are getting really close there. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, you can actually amplify hat and then teleport back. That does work. Oh, no. There we go. Finally, we see the punish. And this is going to be a ton of damage. No defensive bar. This might actually be it. And it is going to be it. That is going to be a 2-0 win for Merco. The teleports were working, but it finally took the first teleport punish of the day to get that game. And that is an amazing amount of, I would say, adaptation from Merco.
I got really unlucky there. What I used, my personal program feed disconnected at the start of that match, and then when I was able to reconnect, the match was already over. Well, I can only imagine that Merco was hitting kind of hard, right?
A little bit. No, yeah, it was the Merco game for sure. It was a lot of what we saw before. You know, round one was just again almost a flawless. We saw some fight back from Esoteric in that second game. We saw the teleport coming out into play, but realistically, it still just all came down to the damage. I mean, the end was finally the teleport being punished, and then it was just a beautiful walk forward, and then just whiff punish with the forward 3-2 for maximum damage from Merco, which we've come to expect. So I like the adaptations. I like the switch back to the teleport, but eventually someone's going to punish it, and it just happens to be something that does almost 400 damage in a combo.
It was damage versus damage, honestly. That's a huge part of both of those characters. But at the same time, it's kind of like you kind of look at, if these guys were to run it back and they were to start playing again, it's unlikely that Eso is going to pick Buzzsaw again. I really think that's probably the last time. If it's him and Merco, it's probably the last time he's decided to use it.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, the thing was the buzzsaw pressure was working so well, but if you have buzzsaw, you just literally never get to use it. We saw literally like 1 or 2 buzzsaws throughout the entire third game there. It's just, you don't get a chance to use it. It's not going to get that sort of mileage. And honestly, you know, when we do see stuff like the orbiting hat type of setups, you can use that kind of defensively, because every single time that you poke out of pressure, it becomes a mix-up within itself. So I'll be interested to see it, but again, I would be very surprised if we don't see more of Esoteric later. But Esoteric Sides and Knives match in the lower bracket, that's a really, really strong match. But we're going to have to see who the winner of that is to see their next stream match, as we are going to be moving on to Macaran and Gollywomp. Scarlet versus Baraka. That's 2 beta characters, right?
Yes, actually. Some of the first characters we saw playable in this game. But it's going to be far from the beta day gameplay, that's for sure. It's going to be actually very curious, because, again, we're kind of looking at what potential variations will happen. We know what we're going to be seeing out of Macaran, whereas Golly, on the other end, you know, is it going to be more emphasis on up close? Are we going to have a little bit more range, perhaps? Like, I don't really see Golly use Spine Burst all that much either. You know, it just entirely depends on what they feel at the time, I guess. But my heart goes with Macaran here, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's so weird because every single time that we see Macaran, we're like, okay, Macaran versus Scorpion, so not going to be a lot of zoning, or Macaran versus an upgraded Jackie, so you have to be careful about zoning too much, or Macaran versus, it's just always some sort of teleport character like Garrus or something. So just all these random characters, right? But this is the first time in I don't know how long that we're like, oh yeah, Macaran can actually just zone, which is like one of the scariest things I've ever seen, because now we see Macaran like where it's like, yeah, you can zone against some of the best anti-zoning characters in the game, but what happens when you're fighting Baraka? So, you know, of course, I'm a big fan of Baraka and watching Gollywomp win, but I think this is going to be very tough because this is basically exactly the matchup that you want to play as Scarlet. I don't think Baraka really has too many particularly optimal options to deal with zoning, except for perhaps counter zoning himself, as Blade Spark is a very good projectile. That's assuming we're going to see these characters, which I feel pretty confident in.
Well, as soon as they jump in, we'll be good to go. And yeah, looking at the bottom of the screen there, I think 92% of the audience favored Macaran as well. So looks like there's a lot of belief in the Scarlet that we're seeing right now. But let's see what variation Golly takes. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
Giving it some thought.
I'm really curious. I think we might see the same one. I think, honestly, it's a pretty decent one, right? A Blade Charge is kind of the only option you're going to get from that max range. And maybe a trade with the Flag Swing could be beneficial. It's not something I've ever thought about, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about now. I do see at least two of the same moves. I saw the Low Stab, and I saw the Blade Charge, but is this the Flag variation?
Keep an eye out. He's got a different hat, so maybe not.
Oh, you're right. Different helmet. No. This is going to be...
Oh, command grab.
Oh, it's the command grab. That's what that was. That wasn't Blade Charge. Sorry, it's so tiny on the screen. So this is going to be a mix-up variation. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's going to control that mid-range really, really well and really make you kind of like squirm, and we'll see how it works out.
Well, as we jump in first, let's take a look. Staggered forward 4, trying to be nice and unpredictable. Nice sort of out of floor block, perhaps, to shut down some of that chip getting off in that plus range. Again. And there's the trip guard. Baraka's jump kick might be good, but if you're good at making the whip, Macaran's in a pretty good spot because of it.
I like that. You gotta keep the pressure on. You gotta take risks here, or you're just gonna get zoned out the entire time. But there we go. Yeah, it's so good. It's just a neutral tool. I mean, now you know Macaran really has to think about every single situation. Like, should I just be raw jumping here? Should I just be raw neutral ducking? But nice. That is exactly what the parry is for, and that's why Macaran usually goes for that parry in the first games of the set, and kind of test the waters to see if the opponent's good at false blocking the strings. And that's the option that's gonna stop them. And I mean, just classic. But it's nice to see the false block so quickly out of the gate from Gollywomp.
Now there's the immediate catch as well. The back-to-back low pokes, Macaran really trying, and oh dearie me, that is an error.
Yeah, that was the error. That came out so slow, and I'm not sure why, but that would have been probably game. I mean, I'd have to assume with just that amount of life. But now, again, it's Macaran advantage. However, Gollywomp has a pretty good situation in the corner here, and these command grabs have been a near 100% success rate.
What's it going to be here? Oh, just baits a button press, but no one home. Leg kebab again.
Just checking in that neutral. I like that a lot. This is such a mid-range game. What a pickup off of that down one. That weird little conversion. That was nice. A lot of damage, too. Wow, didn't quite get the punish on that baited up 3, but the attempt was there.
It's the stand-up. Oh, dear. And the corner confirmed. Just able to pick it up. Doesn't have the meter, though, to finish the job. That could have been the end of the round then and there. Maybe just a second later.
Oh no, back in the corner here. Oh, I like that 42 inches raw projectile, but wow! Reversal grab. Okay.
Really good choice.
Yeah, there's one mix away, but it might be chip on the other side. Oh, roll back 2. Oh, that's exactly the way that Macaran always baits the wake up 3s. That was perfect. That was for sure a taste of your own medicine type situation. Just a full neutral jump over the wake up 3. That was beautiful from Gollywomp.
Mix-ups.
No,
These mix-ups have been so unpredictable so far. It's actually not every day you see Macaran get caught with such variety. Wow. Down 3 low profile. Short hop 3, that's the first time I've ever seen that. And oh god, Baraka doing one of his own! And that's it!
That's it? Wow. I mean, okay, chat really said, okay, hey, Macaran is way ahead in this. We thought the Macaran was way ahead of this, but Gollywomp said no, that is not the case at all. That was honestly such a dominant corner game. Macaran just not able to find a way out at all. But, I mean, we saw the way that variation works, right? That is the ultimate mixed variation. We've seen it a lot from Biohazard. We've seen it from, I mean, kind of a lot of players in the past. The problem is the damage is a little bit low. However, if you just land all of your hits, then there's a chance you just literally never let your opponent have a turn, and that's exactly what happened. So really good stuff. And honestly, when it comes down to choosing variations for Baraka, it's not easy, and I feel like this was the right choice. So really smart from Gollywomp.
Fantastic stuff at the moment. And I think food for thought for Macaran. In this position, you're looking, right, what happened here? How did I get overwhelmed so much? A lot of it just came down to Golly going for those hard call-outs in terms of mix-ups, staggering the 1-1, doing 1-1-2, 1-1 leg kebab. The use of the command grab was pretty much flawless. I don't recall seeing it miss at all. So as simple as it sounds, he just needs to make sure those mix-ups remain on point, because some of them can be a bit unsafe, and Macaran will punish.
And there it is again, the command grab, just like you said. It's funny, we saw Macaran try to neutral duck the command grab one time, and then Gollywomp throw it back too, which is a very similar animation, and of course overhead, so it was a perfect time to do that. But Gollywomp just so solid. Hey, there it is right there, actually. It's just so solid on these mix-ups, and just slowly, okay, are we gonna see the conversion? No, I'm surprised we didn't at least see an attempt at the command grab there, because I don't think you're punishable for it. Maybe I'm wrong, but just you know, letting him chill.
There's quite a lot of respect too. You know, we see a couple of pokes land, and then both players are sat there blocking because they're waiting for the other one to finish, so they can safely take their turn. So can't quite. Oh my god! I was going to talk about not being able to get into each other's rhythm. We're seeing that heavily from Macaran. Macaran is normally in charge, in control, really, really confident, and we're just not seeing that from Macaran so far. God, it's just been overwhelming.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, these matches are still 2 out of 3. This is match point for Gollywomp to sweep Macaran and keep up with the... oh, no, actually, we didn't have a 2-1 finally today, but still, that is a potentially very fast match. However, Macaran's finally building back some space, be able to throw out a few more projectiles. Yeah, getting that hit is huge here, but...
Oh, the knowledge!
Gosh, that is ridiculous knowledge. Who has that kind of knowledge against Scarlet?
A Baraka main. That too. You're gonna main Baraka, you need to know these things. Oh, watch your feet.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, regardless of the knowledge, you get killed by too many things, and that is that. And Macaran pulled off a huge zoning comeback, honestly. No mix-ups involved, just, you know, projectile, projectile, projectile. And that's what I was saying was going to be tough here. But as soon as this mid-range happens, the command grab becomes very, very scary. So already, ooh, I like the teleport out. That is a really good option. And the slowest overhead.
Immediately challenging him with that ranged command grab. It's going to make Macaran that extra bit more uncomfortable, right? From a range where you'd normally be quite commanding and in control. Here comes Baraka. Lovely block on the overhead. That's the first time we've seen this come out to play. So Macaran, there's some definite adaptations, and these important hits are putting Baraka at a range where she wants to be. Absolutely going to amplify that boiling point, and Baraka now in big trouble. And this is the dynamic of the matchup, dude. When he gets in close, it's party time, but when he can't get in, that's where Scarlet needs to be.
Yeah, no parties allowed. It definitely called the... I don't know what she actually is technically dressed up as, but definitely stopped the party and just turned it into the exact rhythm of a game that you want to play as the zoner in that match. And that was exactly what I was expecting more from this set. However, Gollywomp, like you said, when Gollywomp gets in, it could literally just end the entire game, which is, of course, exactly the way that you need to play as a kind of grappler type mix-up character. So realistically, I think... I think if we looked at the chat again and asked for a vote, it would be kind of 50-50 for this final game here, which is definitely how it is in my mind. It's just, will Gollywomp get in, or will Macaran just zone until the end of time? And like I said, it's so funny because Macaran's so used to fighting people that he just can't zone, but now it's like, wait a minute, I can just throw projectiles. This feels weird. This is good. That's what character's supposed to do.
It's that strength of being able to force one's hand. You know, we saw that with the Merco versus Eso matchup, where simply put, if you're able to get in that one system where you can shut down what the opponent's doing that works against you, in this case it's Baraka. Well, actually quite similar, isn't it? Because let's look at Eso versus Merco. Eso was able to have control, have range, have room to move around in, and it was great. The second that stopped, it was a different story. This is now the opposite end, where Macaran, if you can keep Baraka at reach, that's where you're happy to be, because in that first game you got destroyed because you couldn't push him away.
Yeah. Nice punish. Nice punish. That's a move that's very easy to not punish, like wait a little bit too long or whiff or swing into it. But Macaran knowing exactly the perfect max damage punish. This is really close. Oh, yeah, just cash out immediately. Lands at 4-4. I don't think any Scarlets use 4-4 like Macaran does. I mean, it's an amazing string. And, yeah, just immediately cashing out. And now match point Macaran after, honestly, it looked like Gollywomp might have taken a quick 2-0. But Macaran said, no way.
With the way things were going, especially the first round of Game 2, I'd have thought so. It really looked like a one-sided situation, but it just comes down to that experience and the adaptation that someone like Macaran's able to make. It's why he's considered one of the best in the EU. It's why he's considered the best Scarlet out there. Being able to adapt like this, and the case of one set rather than losing the set and then having to reflect, doing it live, that's a whole different strength entirely. However, now the distance closes as now Golly is going in, and the mix-ups are phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, getting out of that corner was huge just now, but already almost half-life gone and back into the corner. No, big drop right there. Oh, and finally a command grab baited. Not a huge punish. Honestly, there would have probably been a breakaway anyway, but Macaran is getting pretty low here. Gollywomp still hasn't used Fatal Blow. Macaran, of course, is completely out of it, and that should be the round. And we're going to the first final round of the day.
It's about time, if you ask me. This is to be the second player in winners finals, right? This is a fight for top 3 minimum.
Yeah, this is actually huge. Oh, blocked the up 2, but no punish on it. Nice down 2, trying to get the conversion. Wow, that actually could have been with punish within itself. There's a lot of stuff going on here. The raw down 2. A lot of weird stuff coming out from both players. The pressure is for sure on, but nobody taking a ton of damage yet.
Turn stealing to 3. Another mix. This one's on point. And Golly's just about to build another bar, so that's going to make that leg kebab even more devastating. But Macaran healing bit by bit. That's going to mean a great deal by the end of this round, the way things are currently going. Oh no, watch your toes!
Well, this is the perfect spacing. You get to set up so much zoning here, but I like the counter zoning. Oh no, Gollywomp.
Oh, he's dead.
That might be it, yep. Oh my gosh, one of the strongest zoning tools in the entire game, and it was looking so good for Gollywomp even within that round, but Macaran built the space, and as soon as that happens, everything goes downhill. But that was a really good set. That for sure is my favorite set of the day so far. Gollywomp, again, like over 90% of the chat believed that Macaran was going to win that, but Gollywomp, I gotta say, played amazingly in that, which is probably a pretty tough matchup. Kept the pressure on, kept the mix going, and really, I think shattered everybody's expectations.
Played on the character's strengths, and that's what you have to do with someone that's considered to be not really as strong as the rest of the cast. I think Scarlet does actually fall into that too, where if there's one thing you can do well with that character, if that opportunity presents itself, you have to grab it with both hands, and that's really what Golly did all the way up until that final round. But actually, on that talking point, Macaran did the exact same thing. It was just, rather than capitalizing on the close distance, it was capitalizing on situations where you actually had room to work with. So, wonderful set, the best set of the day so far. That does now mean that Golly's going to be dropping into the lower bracket as Macaran moves on into winners finals to fight Merco. A matchup we've seen many times before, and excited to see it again.
Yeah, honestly, though, I mean, it's a matchup that we've seen a bunch of times, and like you said, one that I will always enjoy seeing because it's such a neutral-based matchup, so I'm really excited to see that, but we're kind of seeing that a lot of these in the matches today, I mean, realistically, there was a lot of zoning on this game, and there was a lot of mix-up in this game, but it really came down to who won the neutral, right? When they got into this mid-range, the winner of that neutral controlled the rest of the game. You get rewarded so heavily in a matchup like this for winning these mid-range games, and that's what it came down to. That I think we just saw that one a few more times, especially in that very final round by Macaran. But regardless, I mean, I really cannot say how close that was, and I'm glad that there is a lower bracket today so that we do have a chance potentially to see Gollywomp come back up, and with play like that, I think that is a pretty high chance overall.
Well, I mean, we only have 4 more sets, sorry, until this half of the show is done and dusted. We've got that winners finals between Merco and Macaran. Zippery is going to be fighting Golly off stream during that winners finals, and whoever wins that moves into top 4 to fight Eso, and then losers finals, grand finals. That's it. We're going to be ready to move on to North America. So we're definitely getting the best of the bunch so far, especially, I mean, I got to say, not to have like a boring prediction, but I think a lot of people would have predicted Merco versus Macaran winners finals. Shock horror, that's what we got. And in about 5 minutes time, we're going to be seeing that matchup in action. Before we do it though, I want to remind everyone that PlayStation tournaments is something that everyone and anyone can get involved with. Go to compete.playstation.com. That competition center tells you how to enter these tournaments, how to get involved yourself, the interviews, the tech, the character guides. There's all kinds of exclusive content to be found over there, so give it a click. Check it out, and hopefully we'll see you in one of these tournaments. We're going to go for one final break of EU. When we come back, we'll be finishing the tournament, and then we'll prepare for North America. It's the home stretch now. Only 4 series remain here for the European side of PlayStation Tournament's Fight Night. I want to welcome everyone back. My name's Ketchup, joined by the one and only Wonder Chef, and as we bring up this bracket in due time, we're going to be seeing that our winners' finals, just about to take place, is going to be Merco versus Macaran. After that is going to be our top 4 territory. We're still waiting for the result of Zippery versus Golly, so when that happens, we'll know kind of who our top 4 players will be. In the meantime, we'll definitely enjoy a series of some of Europe's finest talent.
Oh yeah, and it's one that we've enjoyed plenty of times before. And also, just as a reminder, we have had the bracket 2 out of 3, but like classic fighting game tournaments, the winners finals, losers finals, and grand finals will all be 3 out of 5. So we are not just going to get a Merco versus Macaran set. It is going to be a pretty long. Oh, what the heck? That was so fast!
I was about to say, did you see that? Zippery defeated Golly 2-0. That is rather impressive, actually.
That is actually very surprising to me, considering how well we've seen Gollywomp play the entire day. But, you know, that's just how it is. And like I said, whoever's going to come out of that lower bracket is going to be absolutely ridiculous. But we'll see that match in a little bit, because right now, like we were talking about, it's time for winners finals. And we've already seen this matchup happen today. We've seen the Scarlet versus Scorpion matchup, and we've seen how good Macaran is at it. But it will still, regardless, not be easy, really, on either side. Usually when these two play, I feel like it comes down to the wire.
And it is, as you said, it's rare that it kind of goes dominantly one way or the other. Even the people at home clearly are a little bit divided here. Only 54% favour Merco, so that may as well be a 50-50 split right down the middle. And I can't say I blame the people for being this divided, because I don't know who to call either. It really just comes down to who's better on the day. As generic as it sounds, when you take 2 players of this calibre that have played each other this much, very little is going to be new here, unless they start bringing out some new tricks, like maybe some different specials or something, which is very unlikely. This is going to be, they know the character, they know the player, they're going to go at it, may the best man win. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool in its own way, because it's something that we've seen so many times, and it's not going to be anything different, but it's always going to be something different, because we never know who is going to win. And that's really so rare to get that when you have players of this caliber, where one of them doesn't really have an edge on the other, except, or at least overall in sets, but that is what makes it so good. And again, this is such a neutral-based matchup. Neither of these characters really have that super strong mix, and so it's really going to be about this mid-range. And yeah, there we go. That was a bait on an attempted attempt to punish the landing, but really smart from Merco, and it really shows already that they know how each other fight.
Even things like that wake up down 1, that's just Merco being sure that Macaran's going to pressure us, down 1's going to chew up. I mean, as scrubby as wake up down 1 can look, I feel like in this kind of matchup, Merco just expects that Macaran's going to go with something different. In this case, though, even more damage on deck, and now it is up to Macaran to do something a little bit more interesting. Blocks the 2-1 string in its fullest and hits down 1. Nice approach. That's one thing I'm kind of surprised players don't do more. I'm always interested in that. That 2-1, 2+4 that Searing Rage does. Players always get hit by his down 1. They don't just try and challenge it down 1 of their own. And I've always wondered why.
So much blood.
Because it works.
I don't know. It's just one of those mind game things, I guess. But so far, Merco taking the very first game. And I mean, you know, I'm sure that there's enough experience here that there's just got to be some sort of fear that they're not checking back in that particular situation. But nice, gets the full punish. And yeah, the breakaway to prevent most of the damage, but I mean, still a solid amount. And of course, that means no defensive bar force for any sort of teleport cancels or anything. And here's the damage. Here's where it starts.
Oh, you can say that again, because we're going to cash out yet another bar, and 28 plus 28 in the blink of an eye. Oh, down 1 causes the back 3 to whiff on those smaller characters, a rather common occurrence. Escape failed, and actually, no, we just cash it. Cash it in.
Yeah, well, you know, with how strong both of these players are, and they both have so much experience against each other, they very often just cash out everything that they can just to get that win guaranteed, because they know that there's no situation where they're not in danger, basically. So you just want to get that win no matter what. Punish? Yeah,
oh,
nice.
That was sick. Let the whole string go to a safe distance, but then tries to whiff punish with a spear just in case Macaran pressed. Macaran didn't, then whiff punished it with a boiling point. This is what I'm talking about, and there's a flawless block yet again. I told you, these are 2 players that know the ins and outs of this matchup.
Yeah, easily two of the best in the world at this matchup. You know, honestly, at this particular matchup, might be the best, both. I think it's kind of hard to even guess who else could be this good on either side of the matchup. So if you're trying to play either of these characters and learn either of these matchups, this is the one to watch. And the full conversion immediately into the Fatal Blow. There's still a lot of life to make back here, but I mean, Scarlet's Fatal Blow just does infinite damage. Look at that.
And with the damage left on the table, all it's going to take is maybe one or a couple of stray hits, and then anything into boiling point, and it should be sufficient damage. And that's why already Merco is flawless blocking. However, that is unfortunate right there, because by using that breakaway, now Merco cannot flawless block up too. Let's it go! And that was a huge risk.
That was, I mean, it would have been game because you could do so much without letting the opponent break away at all if it had hit, but that was a really interesting time to make that full risk. Obviously, you know, it is just literally 100% equal risk reward, right? If I land this, I win. If I don't land this, I lose, but it was not the surprise needed at that particular point in time because Macaran's patience was perfect. So a big risk at the end, and sometimes you got to do that, right? Especially if two players play against each other a lot, you got to take those risks. You got to do the things that are really unpredictable, because even your normal level of unpredictable stuff is suddenly predictable because eventually you've used it just enough times against those players. But again, just great patience from Macaran, and just looking at how that game went, again, I expect it to be a very close set because that was already very close.
That's the kind of matchup where the people at home will see it and go, why would you do this? And then you realize that, hey, look, if it worked, we'd be sitting there going, oh my god, Merco's a god. Merco is a god. However, on the back of that, as you said, patience really prevails, and patience is Macaran's middle name at this point. Let's see if there's any changes here. I don't expect much to be different. Have a look. Here we go again. Wow! Too far away for that grab to reach, and a swift punish by Merco.
Yeah, and of course, optimal as usual, but those overheads landing so much. I don't know how Macaran makes that land like 100% of the time. It really is a pretty slow overall overhead, but I like this, the damage adding up. Neither one, I think, is going to really dominate the pressure because they're both so patient. Nice down one to kind of intercept there.
Not sure what that short hop was after punishing Spear. I don't know, maybe boiling point punish or something? Here we go. Speaking of boiling point, actually, the armor break immediately, and we cash out into even more damage still. That safe poke from range, sticking out that low poke too. Merco just waiting for an opportunity, waiting for something. Oh, the air to air. Even if that dropped, it's just damage that Merco would really like to return, and that neutral jump was perfectly placed. Definitely taking his first round of game two, where Macaran looking to be a little bit more comfortable right now, Chef.
Oh, yeah, or maybe a lot more comfortable. And oh, no, right as we say that, yeah, immediately crushing blow, yeah. There's not a lot you can do off of that, of course, if they have meter, unless you have, like, Fatal Blow. So just expecting that it was going to be broken away from, but still, that is a huge good start. However, Macaran just building up so much damage so quickly with these corner combos. That's the thing, is all these hits from Merco have been kind of small damage, and Macaran has been really cashing out a lot. Nice flawless block. Gotta expect it from Merco.
You see, that's why reserved to break away these combos against this style of Macaran. You need to have flawless block options, and without the defensive bar, you're not going to be able to get flawless block up 2, up 3. The punishes, and oh god, watch your toes! Merco is in trouble. Now remember, this is winners finals, 3 out of 5. We have more games to work with. Macaran does still need to win one more. They'll make this a 3-0 sweep. But do we think, Chef, that this might be the time that Merco changes variation? Because it used to be a bit of a reverse. He used to go teleport cancel first and then Searing Rage. Starting it with Searing Rage, 2-0 down, a convincing 2-0 down, I have to add. Is this where he goes, right, whole new moves, got to take him. This is not working.
I mean, honestly, it's tough to say. I mean, we're used to seeing the Searing Rage working, but the neutral has just been a little bit tough. And I think, honestly, the teleport cancels could help out. So I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see exactly just what the thought pattern is here. I mean, it's so hard to say because it just looks so tough. It looks so tough in that neutral. And I actually didn't see what got picked, nor has it loaded the costume yet. There we go.
He hovered over the 2 variations that have the teleport cancel, the Simblade one and the Burning Spear one, and very clearly decided not to. It's gone straight back in for Searing Rage. Curious, Chef, to see what those adaptations might be, because it's do or die now.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it would have made sense to try it out earlier, but I mean, Searing Rage has just been so successful for Merco, and honestly, we've seen so many 3-0 comebacks from Merco with the Searing Rage, so I'm for sure not saying it's the wrong option. We just gotta see if Merco can make it happen. Needs to maybe play a little bit more patient in the neutral. I mean, it's so hard to say because you play too patient and then suddenly you get punished for stuff. And Macaran is just, the level that Macaran has improved since we first saw Macaran is just unbelievable. I mean, especially with a character like Scarlet.
This is what I'm a little bit worried. I'm worried that Merco is going a little bit too flowchart, because now every time he does that 2-1, 2+4 on block, he does a down 1. But now Macaran has realized that if I down 1, like, it's clearly going to be my turn, right? So I'm taking it for free. Merco is not mixing it up. He's doing the same thing every time. It's worked against everyone else, but it's just not going to work against the likes of Macaran. However, good situation. The anti-air, though! I mean, Come on!
Macaran is, without a doubt, the best anti-air in Mortal Kombat 11, in my eyes. Macaran anti-airs with like 8 different options, down 2, stand 1, down 1, back up with punish, uses standing 4 sometimes, uses standing 2 sometimes. There's just a million different options, flawless block, and it's just, I say that immediately and it gets hit by a jump kick. That's hilarious. I got absolutely trolled right now.
It's adaptation, though. Actually similar to the last time we saw the anti-air down 1. Oh, no, unbreakable. Merco does a jump kick instead and already does the jump OS into spear. Oh no, that down 2 completely missed. No flawless block, but the punish! Oh, and the break! Oh god, just nothing's working for Merco. But everything is working for Macaran. Merco, right, mate, this is do or die. You have to do something with this.
All right, gonna get good Oki off of this. Oh, and the throw. Okay, this is added up really quickly. Merco's now 1 hit away from just converting it a fatal blow, or maybe not even needing to at this point. There's potentially at least 1 bar on board. Everything's hitting. This is a life lead now for Merco, just barely. Oh, didn't get the full punish? Oh my gosh, this is 1 hit away on the side.
Oh!
What an option. Teleported over the boiling point. That was so good, and Merco is still totally in this. That might be the moment that wins the set. I'm not even gonna lie here.
And there's that jump kick into the OS spear once again. All we can do now, though, is talk about the potentials. We saw a neutral duck on Wake Up. We saw a whiffed grab, but all we saw from Macaran was a down 1. That was the game if he committed to literally anything else. Oh, the wrist!
String, the full string. Oh, this is a moment where everything is just starting to work for Merco. I'm telling you, that moment might have turned around the entire set. Merco might have found the moment, but okay, hold on, not yet. But again, the teleport.
Teleport on hit from the Blood Ball. That is not a situation you would expect to teleport. The perfect decision! Doesn't have meter. The block on the overhead. Wait a minute. The flawless block as well.
What? What's that?
Really sick! Replay operator, please give us that again. Is that over? No, he's alive.
No,
alive.
Not yet. One more hit.
Oh, no way!
No, tried to whiff punish, but just the raw wake-up spin was enough. Oh my gosh, what? That entire end of that game was ridiculous. I do feel like Merco has pulled a ton of momentum. Like, as it went from literally like Macaran's side to like Merco's side, just in like 1 instant. But I mean, that anti-air was ridiculous. Backward standing to anti-air. All right, let's see if we can see that again. Oh my gosh, into the full conversion. Macaran was perfectly ready for it.
That's why I wasn't sure if it was going to kill, because the breaker happened, which obviously resets all the scaling.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean,
and that was very intentional too, because he picked up.
It was, yeah, but I don't think Merco was ready for that to happen, which is why that break happened. I feel like normally that would never be a break from Merco. You just say, okay, never mind, you know, I'm just gonna take more damage. But all of that was, that was for sure unexpected. But Merco, I'm glad finally fighting his way back in this. Not gonna be 100% dominant by Macaran. And I still really feel like Merco might just take this whole thing, just sweep it after that moment.
I mean, you and I have been watching competitive fighting games for a long time, dude. And how many times when someone's getting super overwhelmed, they pull off this like one clutch moment, this one opportunity. And that is just the opportunity that just ascends their train of thought. All their reactions, the decision making. It just kind of just unlocks that potential within them. And what we're going to see from it now, though. More flawless blocks. Oh my. I think we might be somewhat seeing that now, Chef, but I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, I mean, Macaran is 100% never out of it and still has an entire game lead.
Exactly.
But Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've watched a game. Oh, okay, that was a nice whiff punish. Yeah, baited with the down 4 to try and maybe make it look like he was throwing a projectile or something, but it worked, whatever it was. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've watched a match just on a stream that I'm not commentating or anything, and I'm like, oh, this person's down, match point, and then they do one play, and I'm like, yeah, they won the set.
Oh.
And it's right. Oh my gosh. Good
Messes up. Yeah, messed up the punish. Got a standing 1 into a single button. Clearly meant to do the string, but I don't know. Maybe your hands just couldn't agree with your brain there. It happens to everyone. Flawless block, but no meter to launch. That was probably going to be an up 2 into a fatal blow if he had the bar. But unfortunately for Merco, didn't. Plus frames. Lets it go in case you try and press. Good choice, but safety. Pushing all the way back. Fatal blow on the cards for either player right now. Oh, hesitated! Hesitated and decided at the last minute.
Wait, that's not it, that's not it.
Oh my god!
No, an option to make the comeback. I can't believe it. I can't believe it wasn't just like spin, like meaty spin or something like that, or down 4 spin on a wake up. I mean, I guess had to potentially avoid the up 3, but regardless, the one opportunity, and it was just given to Macaran, and beautiful, of course, flawless block by Macaran. That's why I say one of the anti-air masters. And now again, match point for the Scarlet God. And look at this, pulling a little bit of momentum early too.
We said at the start of this series, be ready for some of EU's finest, and we bloody meant it. Like, this has been an unbelievable series, and it's not even down to a game 5 yet. I say yet because there's always a chance. Blocking that short hop is going to allow the beginning of what could be the end of this match. Merco needs to get another round on board just to equalize, though. However, lets it go. And again, the inevitable down 1 comes out. The delayed back 3, really good choice, but there's that wake-up flawless block. The exact same thing we saw in round 1.
Oh, and look at this pressure. Macaran says, I am no longer a zoner. I am now the offensive character. Oh, look at this, even jumping in a little bit too offensive, and that is actually usually the way that Macaran gets the anti-airs, with punishing the landing lag, and this time it's going to be Merco. So, despite that huge comeback in that previous round, Merco is not phased at all, continuing to hold this momentum from whatever happened in game number 3. The patience.
It does remain to be match point for Macaran, though. Merco's going to be playing for this winner's bracket advantage. With this caliber of player in the tournament, that one less set you have to win in Grand Finals means so much. And wow, that was blowing up the potential flawless block that was taking place. We've seen clear as day that Merco's got those flawless blocks on lock, and that's why Macaran's having to change this approach quite considerably. 2-1-2, the damage over time, and the burning spear, the worst combo for you to have to defend against here. Increased damage anyway, and then damage. Oh!
Ooh, I don't know what that was. Maybe an attempt at, assuming it was a stagger and trying to counter poke back, but they're both really low right now. Macaran already used the fatal blow, so it's not on board. I think Merco still has it available, but isn't quite at that life total yet. Yep, still does have it available, so that's pretty scary. We saw it attempted as an anti-air earlier, so the jumps have got to be very scary to do right now for Macaran.
Oh!
I know,
Merco
this is scary.
just built the meter.
This is so terrifying.
That's it!
That's it. That is game. That is Macaran moving on to the grand finals. All it took was one beautiful confirm in the mid-range. And that's the wild thing. That's the wild thing. That's something that's new to me from Macaran. I got to talk about it. Aside from the fact that the set was amazing, forward 1, which is that big like forward swing, is being hit confirmed. Is that being single hit confirmed? Because I don't know why we're seeing it so often into the boiling point, because that's going to be super punishable, right? That is a very, very minus on block move, and you're not that far away. But Macaran has been using it a lot. I wonder if that's some new tech, some new thing that Macaran realized that he can do as far as like just even a single hit confirm. Maybe there's an OS. I would love to know. But regardless, it was a perfect way to end that. And yeah, this has been an amazing set. It did not disappoint. You know, we said at the start of the set that we are always excited to see these two play against each other, and it's for good reason. I think if you want to show off what's good about Mortal Kombat 11, all of the best parts of Mortal Kombat 11, you show these two players playing against each other. You know, they use the system mechanics so well. They show off how the characters play so well. They show off how strong neutral can be in this game. You know, like the flawless blocks are just so good from both of them. I think this is just like it's the epitome really of MK11 to me between these two.
There were so many finite punishes, some of the most amazing flawless blocks you've ever seen. That moment right there, you know, starting things off strong, and then this was just complete and utter chaos, if I remember the round correctly. I'm sure this was the one. Yeah, it was around here, I think. Yep, there was the block, the trade, push back, and then the anti-air, and was clearly ready for it. resetting the scaling, Merco did survive, and then, yeah, that wake-up spin. Jump kick confirms here, because you were getting anti-edge throughout the entire series, so you start doing jump kick, putting it into spear on hit for the OS. But, oh, that was so good! And I wish I could say that's the first time I've seen Macaran do that. Far from it. He loves his wake-up flawless blocks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the flawless blocks in this game, honestly, on both sides, were really kind of the driving factor of who won. I mean, of course, the huge flawless block comeback into the fatal blow was one of the biggest parts of it, but, I mean, you know, that might have been the first set of Merco versus Macaran. I say first set because it's probably not the last one. However, there is, of course, a chance for a huge upset with the way that apparently Zippery has been playing, eliminating Gollywomp 2-0, which is very surprising. But, you know, like I said, whoever's in this lower bracket is really scary because most of the players that we saw get knocked into the lower bracket earlier, I think just had kind of not like woken up fully yet, had not fully like adapted. The pressure is getting to them maybe a little bit, but I think that between Zippery and Esoteric, whoever comes out of this is going to be much stronger than we saw them before, and both of them already did look quite strong to me.
Can we also talk about the fact that looking at that bracket, you would see 3-1 to Macaran and think, oh, it could have been quite a quick series then. That felt like more than 5 games. With just how methodical all of those matches were. But anyway, my train of thought is long gone. Let's now talk about this actual upcoming matchup. Zippery versus Lao Forever.
AKA
How
Esoteric.
about that for a gamer tag?
I know,
yeah, so it's going to be Noob Saibot versus again. And actually, recall this, I think, is a run back, is it not? They played earlier today. And it was Esoteric taking it 2-0 over Zippery. It was the teleports just completely overwhelmed him. But like I said, games under the belt, ready to go. Could even be a different variation. That drip looks different.
Yeah, it was Zippery just not quite getting the damage necessary. So I'm really excited to see them like at full power here. I also kind of wish that the name was Lao Forever. Is that too old of a reference, I think, for most people now? I don't even know if people think that's a funny reference. But regardless, I'm really excited to see this Lao again, too. This Lao really put a lot of pressure on Merco. That's the toughest thing about commentating EU is that everybody has an M name in EU. Can we like change people's names? Why is there like there's a million Scorpions whose names start with M, then there's Macaran, and there's just it becomes too tough. But Merco had a really tough time against this Lao. So if Merco has a tough time against anybody, that already is a really scary sign. But okay, starting off with a little bit of pressure, JK, great roll through to start things off.
Letting it go because of the plus frames. I really like that, actually. You know, by the time they stand up, they're already going to have to hold the midsection of the string, so they're not going to be able to punish you. Free chip. Oh, hang on a minute. Instant. It works, but I'm still not convinced by it. The reason being is that those teleports heavily cost Zippery when they caught last time. And, rare footage of down 2 without the hat.
Yeah, this is honestly a weird teleport game. You know, both these teleports so unsafe, but both players can just get away with it sometimes not getting away with it. Oh, that's a huge punish. That
no fatal blow.
Been a huge punish. Oh no, yeah. I think that's what they tried to do, right? 1-1-3 and a fatal blow, but fatal blow was still on cooldown from using it in pressure earlier. I think that's exactly what happened.
Oh my lord! You know what? I have no choice but to just respect the fact that the teleports are now starting to work, because it is such a risky way of playing. But now if it's working, you've made it into top 4, hey, who was I to judge?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Although, nice. Oh, actually, I bet could have got a conversion from that. But again, that is such a good way to catch these wake-up back rolls. We've seen it multiple times before. Hopefully it's just on our end. A little bit of a spike there, but yeah, it looks like the players are going through, so this might just be a bit of a spectator thing, but the round ended anyway, and Zippery, yeah, looking way better than before. I mean, of course, it was a 2-0 previously, and as a reminder, this is back to the lower semifinals, so it will be, again, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I think looking at the way that was, there were a couple of significant pauses in that final round, but because all of them things were already in motion and the players were still playing normally, I can only assume it was a spectator thing. Remember, this is Europe. Our spectators, I believe, are America, so there might be the occasional visual hiccup, but remember, as we jump into North America, actually, I think the chance of that goes down quite a lot. Maybe I'll start lagging out then. Who knows? But either way, let's jump into this next matchup where this is I gotta say, I am actually not used to seeing Noob Saibot players in tournament be particular risk takers. But those risks that Zippery has put forward so far have allowed him to take that first game and look pretty good in the meantime. So, yeah, I'm here for new strategies and new styles all day.
Yeah, I actually want to see Esoteric play a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot more safe in this match, and just see if you can get some punishes and just like make the damage come from that, right? Because there have been a lot of these big risks, and there you go. You know, just wait. You know, it's not like Noob's gonna mix you. It's not like you're taking that much chip. I would love some patience, but it doesn't seem like either of these players are the full patient type, so I think this might just be an all-out battle.
But if you're able to establish enough teleports, anti-air tackle, let's go. And the reaction! That was a absolute reaction, that was. And he's going to be challenging the 1-1-2, is going to connect. That's going to be yet even more. Eso probably sitting there thinking, what is going on here? This is not the same player I fought before.
It's actually so funny that Eso won this this set in the first in the upper bracket by teleporting a lot, and now suddenly he's getting teleported on a lot. It's like very much again, taste of your own medicine, which I used earlier in the broadcast, but it's true. Nice, I love that combo. That never doesn't look like it should hit after the jump kick, but it does. Loud combos in general are just so fun. Both these characters have fun combos, but here's the corner pressure with the buzzsaw. This is where it gets scary.
Those teleports have definitely put the fear into Eso. There's not so much of the buzzsaw and the neutral. Those teleports have seemed to... And look, you can even see here, when he's jumping forward, I'm sure Zippery's kind of churning it a little bit.
Oh, that foot is so funny. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, not punishing it from that far. No punishing that far. There we go.
That actually is not the worst thing in the world, right? Like, it's not going to let you get the down 2 crushing blow punish because the hat's going to hit you first.
Wait!
Wait a minute. Okay, this is a ton of damage. No deep. Wait. There was. Oh, that almost hit. I would love to see the back 2 there. That was an immediate breakaway. You hate to see that. Oh
my God! Sure is down 2 around here. No, made the perfect call to do fatal blow, but by frames missed. It would have reset the scaling and it would have absolutely resulted in a 2-0.
Oh, whoa, trade with up kick. Okay, whatever works. Still has the corner. And, just as scary as Lau is in the corner, Noob can be scary in the same way, especially if you've got great anti-airs. So we're seeing it. Yeah, this is damage. This is damage. Look at that. Just needs one more hit. The roll out. Okay, this is going to even things up. Not one of the most damaging fatal blows in the world, but it doesn't get scaled very much by starting it that way. So this is going to be a nice little start. I actually don't know how much Oki Lau gets, which is weird. Not much. The teleport.
With punish, no!
No, that is 2 sets in a row that Esoteric lost from the final hit being a whiff punish. And yes, best friendship in the game. Can we agree on this?
Oh, absolutely. I considered that the best friendship in the game before we even saw the others.
Yep,
I was like,
exactly.
It doesn't matter what friendship exists for other characters. This is the one. Now, I got to say, massive shout out. It's very rare that a set will go so one-sided beforehand, and then when the run back happens later in the bracket, it's a complete opposite of being one-sided. And a huge part of that was some unconventional Noob Saibot play. I'll be the first to say it, but I think that's because you're fighting someone who themselves were playing a little bit more unconventionally. When they fought in winner's bracket, it was teleport, teleport, teleport. Now we saw the same amount of teleports early on, but it existed to neutralize the buzzsaw, to neutralize Kung Lao's teleport, because a couple of them were used on reaction. And then the moment that respect was established, Eso started to jump a lot more. That resulted in anti-air down 2. Constant use of down 2. I mean, look at that! Another one! Like,
yeah, just like raw down 2 in that pressure. That was hilarious.
But it didn't stop the down 2s from coming. Look at how much more they worked.
Hey, I mean, it works. People don't talk about it, but Noob's down 2 kind of works pretty well in that kind of Jade sort of way of having just like a gigantic hitbox. And I mean, it did anti-air a lot. And realistically, I think it was really smart. Zippery had to play very, I want to say like, had to take the initiative. That's a good way to put it. Like very active, right? Because otherwise you just get locked down by hats all day and you just lose. So it seemed really risky, but it was working out really well in catching the start of a lot of stuff, and well earned. I gotta say, he's looking 100% different than Zippery we saw earlier in the bracket, and now earned a spot in top 3 and a chance to go up against Merco, which is a match that we haven't seen. We didn't, we're not gonna get a chance to see the Esoteric rematch. We are gonna see Noob versus, what a weird top 3. We have the Scarlet, Noob, Scorpion. Europe is always so fun. Europe is just way too fun.
At the same time, you know, I'm a fond rememberer of the Open Series days where we would constantly see the likes of Sweet Frazier, for example, who would also use Noob Saibot. So we would see Noob in top 3 quite regularly, courtesy of him. It's just Europe in particular has a specific pool of characters that it just seems to have on lock. Now, if we're going to be rewinding a little bit and talking about the playstyle that Zippery was using to get that win just now, how well that's going to work against someone like Merco, it's a different story. Because Eso was a very chaotic player. However, it was a chaotic variation. He was really complimenting how you can use those moves that it put together, whereas Merco will approach it an entirely different way. And actually right now, I guess because you're going up against Noob Saibot, we've already seen this is now the Burning Spear variation. So he's going to have Teleport Cancel, he's going to have the Spear buff, so it's going to make his grab game better, his spears better. But the big thing here is going to be that Teleport Cancel.
Yeah, you know, real quick before this match starts, I just want to give a shout out to the players today. Everybody got into the matches super quick, which is not always the case. We have been just moving along. So huge shout outs to everybody for being really good about that. And if you're a player, you know, everybody appreciates you getting in there really quick. But yeah, we are going to see the, like you said, that variation to start it off, which makes sense. It's a little bit more of, I think, like a feel the opponent out variation. And I'm surprised that we saw the Searing Rage or the, like, at the start of the previous set. This is a lot more what we're used to. On the other side, we are going to have the slide. We're going to have the amp teleport, I think, and then the sickle slam. Okay, so sickle slam is the variation that we saw, I think, game 1, the very first game from Zippery, and we haven't seen it again. We saw a lot of drop combos. Hopefully not this time, I say, as immediately there's an unfortunate, I would say, lack of hit confirm.
This is what I'm a little bit worried about, though. The preemptive down twos that worked before. Against someone like Merco, I feel like he's going to be incredibly ready for that. He's used to having very suffocating pressure, so if you're going to try and square him out and look, wake up buttons as well, this is a scary way to play. I don't want to be too full of doubt, because by all means it could work, but there's going to be a lot of work to be done. Single hit confirm on that forward 3. Teleport cancel was going to allow Merco to be crispier still with stuff like that.
Round 2.
I think Scorpion's usually pretty crispy, pretty extra crispy. But no, I think
you
it's
make
really
me
lucky.
laugh.
Okay, you win. No,
I
I
like
think
those
it's lucky
baracas
that
in the background.
That is a rip. Wait, are those aren't the baracas that are extra crispy back there? That's just
I mean, I don't know what they are. They're all meat.
Yeah, I don't know. That's actually all meat. Bring back meat. Can we get meat back in the game? Meat cameo in the background right there. I don't know if they're humans or they're Osh-Tech in the back, but okay. Regardless, what I was going to say was that Zippery, I think, has a really good advantage here of it being 3 out of 5, right? Because we're back down to losers finals, and I think Zippery was in just such a mindset of like, yeah, I know exactly how the opponent's going to move, and I'm reading it, and wow, that was a combo 452. There we go, and we're already seeing it. You know, I think Zippery is playing a little bit less preemptive now and a little bit safer, which is obviously the best way to play against Merco. But it just took a little bit of time, I think, to get there. And we're seeing this be a close round. It's okay. You know, you were in the mindset of the previous opponent. It's time to move on to the next one. And we could see a close set here, honestly. Zippery's been playing very, very well. And we didn't see a single down 2, especially preemptive down 2 in that last round. So that's what I like to see.
Actually, shoutouts to Merco for trying to speedrun this losers finals. Did you see that confirm into teleport that he cancelled and then did an immediate short hop just to make it as fast as possible to get into the next game? That is the technique of a player that has played many games and just wants to get straight into the next one. That's what that is. But a great game. You know, that first round, I think, was kind of shaking off some of the anticipation, perhaps, as now Merco still looking really strong. And as I expected, the one that's in control of the match so far.
Coliseum.
Yeah, it's not looking bad. You know, I mean, again, the biggest thing to me from the very first round Zippery that we saw is that the execution's there. You know, we saw the 452 damage combo, which is exactly what you want to see. And of course, you only get that if you're going to be able to get rid of your opponent's like defensive bar first and then get the conversion. So all of it is very, very strong so far. It's just about now settling down. And again, that second round will look a lot better than the first round. It's easy, though, to get into the rhythm of an opponent, especially a very chaotic opponent like Esoteric. And you have to like break yourself out of that. It's very, very hard to switch gears like that, especially if you're not like a super veteran tournament player. But it looks, again, like Zippery's doing quite well. Nice conversion.
Oh, and we amplify that spear buff for the plus frames, and here comes even more damage because of it. That burning spear, so good for that deadly strike throw mix-up. Preemptive down 2. Too far away for the down 1 to pick up, though, however. Oh, the good read. unfortunately, actually, didn't manage to get anything else on top of that. I actually probably used the sickle snag already, so I'm not even sure if he could have had anything extra there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Still did manage to pretty much even up the life total there. And look at this patience. Yeah, I like seeing this. Yeah, Zippery for sure was just not playing at even close to like 50%, I think, in the very first game of the day. I'm surprised we didn't see them do better than we did, but I'm loving this gameplay right now. This is very patient. This is the style of noob we're used to seeing. Oh, good breakaway. Not going to get a punish or anything, though. Just swings again. Fatal. I don't know what that caught, but that should be it. That's not going to scale very much at all, and that is, of course, one of the stronger fatal blows in the game. Am I wrong? No, I'm right. Okay. Yeah, this is looking way better for Zippery. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Again, a player that, at least me personally, I've never heard of in my entire life, but that's what's so good about these tournaments is seeing players like this.
Honestly, when it comes to Noob Cybot and we're within that threshold, I will always just assume the fatal blow will kill. The damage on it is so high.
Yes,
however,
yes.
This is a highly unorthodox way of playing Noob Cybot. Super button happy. Goes in for it. Lovely down for anti-air. And actually, thanks to the sickle snag, gives us just shy of 33% damage for a down for anti-air. That's why it's such an amazing move. You go into a matchup deciding which launcher is more beneficial to me, and if you're going for those immediate forward, 2 confirms, the anti-airs, that's where sickle snag is the best. And what anti-air spear?
I think that might have actually been a read on another forward 2-2 because that was like 8 of them in a row right there. But you know, if the catch the anti-air, it works, and that is going to be the game, actually. A quick game for Zippery. And like you said, it is very button heavy, but it's a really interesting play style because it is a very patient neutral, right? When at the mid-range, Zippery is very barely pressing anything, just waiting, walking around. But as soon as it gets up close, it's like you're Johnny Cage or something like that. It's like pressure noob Cybot, but it's catching Merco off guard. And I think Merco needs to play a little bit more patient in that situation, or try to figure out the moments to poke out, because that was a really dominant game.
I can't remember the last time I saw a noob Cybot play like this. And I don't mean that in a bad way by any stretch. It's just that this is clearly something that Merco is going to have to adjust to, because he's going to have to take every noob Cybot he's fought before in tournament and pretty much just forget that matchup existed. This is one of those things where someone is playing so against the grain with a character that normally plays in a very different way. This is player versus player in its purest form. I think you just have to ignore the fact you're even fighting noob Cybot. You have to go, right, when do they like to do wake up strings? When do they like to stick out the down 2? They're doing some weird stuff. You have no choice but to just, right, I have to adapt to this. I have to do something about this one specific player, because it's already 1-1. Not many games left.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm kind of glad there's a 3 out of 5. This is a pretty interesting set. At least it's turning out to be an interesting set. We'll see if either player makes any sort of huge adaptation to really take control of this, although it did seem like Zippery was pretty in control. We are going to see a lot more patience here from Merco, finding the space to activate the damage buff. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is the longest we've ever seen without anybody attacking. Oh, the teleport cancel, and finally gets a little bit of pressure. That was a really good recognition, like a confirm, I would say, from Merco, to see that that wasn't anything that was going to get punished by the teleport. And look at this, it is just leading to so much pressure. And it would have led to a huge punish the other way if it wasn't Merco being great. Oh no! And immediately we see the opposite, a lack of confirm on that teleport. And look at this damage, cashing out fully. 469, nice.
2 forward 3s. The up clone, I mean, does that scale that, I imagine? It must do in some ways. That looks very deliberate to me.
Yeah, I think it actually scales like pretty heavily, but that was for sure a really nice amount of damage. I'm not sure exactly what's optimal in that corner off that exact situation, but that was, I mean, exactly what you want. However, oh,
what? Where are you going? Where are you going? Get back!
They pulled it back into it. That was so funny looking. Okay, will this kill? I'm not going to say. Okay, no, for sure not this time. One hit away from either player. Oh gosh, wait, is there no punish for that? There's not a punish for that with noob. Oh my gosh, the spear zoning. Can you just trade when you're 5 seconds on the clock?
Why are you blocking?
Oh, what's that? Was that amp? I think that was amp slide. It was actually off the screen, so I couldn't see it. But Merco finding the perfect moment to teleport in, and that was only 4 seconds left there. That was super clutch.
I don't know why Zippery was blocking the spear every time. I mean, you're just giving up the chip, and it created the stressful circumstances that led to the round loss ultimately. But Merco back in control. Wow! I do not think Zippery was expecting the amplify there for some reason. However, the wake up 113 again. This is what I mean. He's just playing in such a weird way, but it's working. This is why tournaments are always such a blast. You never know what you're gonna get.
Oh no, that might have been a wake up on 1-3, and that certainly did not work. Oh, went for the reset, and needs one more hit here. Even a grab might do it. Oh, nice. No, grab will definitely do it.
He did wake up standing 1 again, and it made him tech the throw.
Whatever works. Whatever works. Okay, here's the throw. I don't think there's a crushing blow locked and loaded. Oh, and for another grab, and the overhead's gonna do it. I think it actually caught, I don't know, that caught really weird, like a jump or something. But Merco, nice, with the 2 super clutch final moments to avoid death. And now he's gonna go up 2-1 in the set. Hey, you know what? The wake up standing ones have worked. That's actually super funny that it got the accidental tech. I would be lying if I said that never happened to me or didn't all the time happen to me, but it definitely does. Sometimes wake up buttons just work out in a way that it doesn't look like they will.
It does fill me with a little bit of concern though, Chef, because the final moments of that game came down to Merco purposefully resetting combos earlier than he normally would and just meeting with the button because he knew that Zippery would be pressing and he knew that it'd eat the whole thing. So that suggests to me that we're now reaching a point that Merco's a bit more familiar with his opponent's style. Clearly was not familiar with it at the start. That's why some really weird stuff kept catching him off guard, and it's why an unpredictable style can work. The concern, though, is that now Merco is a little bit more warmed up to it. No pun intended, because he plays Scorpion. I feel like this I told you I was very funny. This final match, potential final match, could be pretty good for Merco. I want to see what Zippery's going to do instead.
Get grabbed, I guess. Yeah, I'm curious too. Okay, just blocking on that wake up, so we're at least already seeing a little bit more patience. Although, hey, you know what? The 1-1s are going to come out anyway. I kind of like these usage of 1-1. It's something you see a lot from let's say Liu Kang, right? Kind of playing. Oh my gosh, that was actually a beautiful punish right there. As we're talking about it, attempted to read the breakaway, but Merco just being patient, knowing that you can actually wait for the first hit to break away and not actually get fully comboed, which is nice. But still, this is infinite damage right here. Here we go. 416, easy, casual 400 damage in the corner. Oh,
this kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the very start of the day when Merco fought a different Noob Saibot player, is that if Noob Saibot catches Scorpion, especially if he's using his meter to cancel teleports, he can't break anything. And that's where Noob's practical damage reigns so supreme. Down 2 again. Didn't manage to catch, though. Another wake up 113! God!
Yeah, we are still seeing that constantly, but it's worked 2 for 2 so far in this set, which is, in this game, which is pretty funny. But Merco, I mean, for sure is going to start punishing those. It has to be. Oh, but this corner pressure. Oh, didn't get any sort of pickup there. Look at this, tons of damage though. Oh my gosh, just 113. And now Merco's the one pressing buttons on wake up. Zippery is like one small conversion or even like a big projectile away from evening things up. But speaking of evening things up, Merco has Fatal Blow here. Probably doesn't want to spend it on this. Yeah, wants the Crushing Blow and then now can convert it into it in one more big situation for the win if he needs to. The block.
Oh!
Just got
Only the swords. Only the swords are left next to that can of soda.
That's gross. Don't do that to the arcade floor. Come on, come on. But hey, free swords if anybody's looking for some nice swords. But
scratch that, free soda. Do you see the can to the left? Look, it's right there. It's right there. Right, that was, again, going back to... This is complete and utter chaos. And again, I can't remember the last time I've seen a Noob Saibot be this mobile, this button happy, this just eager to get stuck in and make magic happen. And here we are, 2-2. This is the final game. And remember, this is loser's bracket. Winner of this gets into grand finals, loser out of the tournament. But this is one game away from fighting the last player standing, Macaran. So if Zippery's able to defeat Merco here, what's going to happen against Macaran?
I have no idea.
Part of me wants to see it. Part of me wants to see it. I'm not biased. I love Merco to bits, and he's still my pick. But if Zippery makes it through, I'll be like, okay, well, we're gonna see some utter chaos is what we're gonna be seeing here. But let's jump in now. Final game, losers finals here. Merco and Zippery.
Yeah, I mean, Merco really needs to catch those wake up 1-1-3s. It's just so often. It's seriously like fighting those online Liu Kangs that do 1-2-3 and wake up every single time, where you can like walk up on their on Oki and just down to them and it'll crushing blow. But honestly, the moments to do the wake up 1-1-3s have been so good. And oh my god, it's infinite! It is infinite.
It just won't stop working.
I know. I don't understand it. I just want to see Merco just go for the simplest, easiest meaties and just say, stop doing this. You gotta stop.
What if Merco does walk up down 2 and gets a crushing blow? What if he does that?
I wouldn't put that.
He tried again.
Oh my gosh.
He tried to do it again.
Didn't work this time, though.
Enough of these games. Ooh, match point now for that Scorpion God. But I don't want to say. Let's not get too comfortable here. Zippery finds a way, as we've clearly seen, and has been established. Ooh, that hurts, though.
Nice, going for max damage there with the 4-3-2. Don't always get that. Oh, nice. Gets clipped by the back 1. I mean, honestly, the usage of normal is just really good in general by Zippery, you know? I don't want to make it sound like it's just like, oh, yeah, like, there we go right there. Down 4. In my opinion, one of the best anti-airs in the entire game, if not the best, and using it perfectly. But Zippery has, honestly, found the right moments to do these wake-up 1-1-3s. Is this a moment? No, not right now. Good tech.
Oh, nice. That was a phenomenal choice. Things are getting kind of scary. There's the down 2, the meaty 1-1-2 to establish somewhat of a mix-up here. Again, Noob Cyber from that range really can't punish that spear at all. Oh, he makes the big read! And he's done. That is a game ender.
You know what, though? I respect that read. That was honest. That was a really chaotic, really out there attempt to make that work. But that was the first time that we saw that attempt to bait an anti-air right there. And that's what it was going to be, right? It was going to be like, okay, if you down 2, if you stand 1, my teleport's going to hit you and I'm going to hit the full combo and I'm going to win. But Merco is just such a patient player, and honestly, I don't think there were enough jumps and enough, I guess, moments where we would have assumed that there would have been an anti-air from Merco for that to work, right? The jumps were so rare, and honestly, Zippery was playing a really strong, grounded game, and in fact was making Merco have to jump a lot more, so I think that risk might have worked if there had been more jumps, but unfortunately, I think Merco was just a little bit too patient and more like, whoa, why are they jumping at me? But great stuff from Zippery. I gotta say, you know, again, I really don't want to make it sound like, we're saying like that it's just like, oh my gosh, so many, just mashing on wake up. The 1-1-3s were chosen on particular moments and they worked like 90% of the time, maybe not that many times, but the reward is so high that it really changed how the entire Oki game worked, and Merco had to make some huge adaptations for it, and it took a really long time, and realistically I don't feel like the 1-1-3s were the reason of the loss, and I felt like they were the reason of a lot of the wins, so I think it was a really good option.
I honestly agree with you. It's one of those situations where I think normally we would be sitting here, because if it kept happening and wasn't working, we'd be sitting here like, I don't know why he just refused to stop doing it. But, you know, to the contrary, that was possibly his most effective strategy. So in that instance, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. But the risk taker, not the kind of character a risk taker in MK11 would often play, but one that worked out well enough to get a close top 3 finish and one game away from defeating one of EU's best and making it into grand finals. So I think Zippery can be extremely proud of his result today. Well done across the board, and thanks for showing us that, I will say, unique style of Noob Saibot. I'd love to see it again. But now our grand final, Macaran and Merco. You've seen them play already. You might have seen them in previous weeks, previous tournaments. They're playing again. They had a wonderful winners finals, but now it's all down to this. Double elimination, though. And I've seen a couple of people in chat might not have seen Mortal Kombat tournaments for a while. Maybe you've not seen Mortal Kombat in general for a while. Chef, break down a double elimination grand finals and why is it important?
Yep, so just like all of the other matches in this tournament, you do still have to get knocked into the losers bracket or the lower bracket and then make your way back up. So for Macaran, who's currently still in the upper bracket, has not lost yet, Macaran has to lose 2 full sets, aka Merco has to win 2 full sets to win the entire tournament. So Macaran only needs to win the 1 3 out of 5. Merco needs to win 2 in a row, which is a very tough hill to climb. But between these 2 players, of course, anything can happen. And it sounds like it would be rare because it seems like such a tough thing to do. But we have seen so many resets and so many wins on these PlayStation tournaments. It's actually kind of ridiculous. It's almost to be expected. So we're probably going to be in for at least a pretty long first set, if not 2 pretty long sets.
We've seen it happen before. We've seen when players are this evenly matched, we've had it historically where we will go game 5, really close, last hit, last round.
Scorpion.
But then the victor is the one that resets the bracket, and we literally just do it all over again. Will that happen again today? I guess remains to be seen. But either way, Merco straight off into that exact same. The Searing Rage, which he always calls the Reaper. Just to prevent anyone being confused, we often refer to it as Searing Rage, because before Ultimate happened, when everyone can mix and match their variations, there used to be tournament presets. One of the tournament presets was called Searing Rage, which had all of these moves that Merco uses, because you can't really mix and match those moves. They all have to be one thing, right? So if you want to play Searing Rage, you still have to pick that one. But either way, long story short, it's grand finals time between Macaran and Merco. Chef, who do we think's going to take it?
Oh, it is impossible to say. I think the better player today is going to take it. So far, that's been Macaran, but I mean, Merco starting off strong. And we've seen this a million times before. The player who kind of makes their way back up from the lower bracket finals is going to have that little bit of momentum going in just because they just want a match, you know? And the person sitting in grand finals, they had to wait a little bit. So we do see that exactly right now with Merco taking the early pressure. However, that could turn around very quickly, or it could turn around after the reset. We'll never know. I mean, it looks to be kind of right now.
A lot of respect is being shown there from Merco. Merco risks getting put in the corner by that combo. However, unfortunately, as he gets clipped by that boiling point, really not a choice that he can make. Respecting the damage of both Macaran's damage output and the fact that Scarlet just hits like a truck.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have any defensive bar, you're just, you are in trouble. But nice grab, and the Oki is going to be a 1-1-2. We're seeing a lot of these jab strings, kind of taking it over from the last set.
Oh, the reads!
That
you
is
know
a
why?
Statement to make. Okay, why?
That worked because Merco all day long has had almost 100% like success rate on flawless blocking that whole string, and Macaran knows it. And that's it. The fatal blow came out because if you're going to flawless block, you're releasing block at that moment, and if you're releasing block, here comes the fatal blow.
That is one of those reads that only works if you are 100% comfortable in what your opponent's habits are, and these two clearly play each other enough, and I mean even just within today that you can have that level of comfort. But wow, Macaran, what a read to make, and what a perfect read, and now even has the lead in the second round. This is a ridiculous day for Macaran. Like I said, Macaran's actually honestly recently just been kind of on a roll and seems to be continuing.
But he's doing it again. He's using Merco's excessive flawless blocks against him. Using that string on block and then going for dash in throw. You know, you're trying to tap block, trying to go for that flawless block. You're not in a position that you can tech a throw. The breakaway. There's that teleport. A good opportunity for Merco. Merco needs a couple more hits to make magic happen. Okay, hang on a minute. Did have escape fail before, so that's going to be a crushing blow, and now fatal blow territory.
Ooh, the floss block with no follow-up option, and now it's just one hit away. Oh, nice tech. Oh, but backing up can be kind of scary. Even if you have the teleport, it's still Scarlet. Oh, the floss block and then the tech? Are you kidding me? Who does both of those things in a row? Oh! I saw it happen in slow-mo in my head. Macaran walked up and just crouched next to the spear, and it flashed white for a second. I was like, oh no, the spear, it's happening. It's pretty funny because honestly, that's kind of just like what her sweep is, but with a different weapon. But what a way to end that. The spear interactable with the big sweep just coming out of nowhere. That was an interesting choice. Honestly, it's not like, I don't know what, I mean, it's not that surprising, right? To see that come out. It's not like that would have caught Merco off guard, but it did.
It's one of my favorite things about environment interactions in this game is that you put yourself in a position where it's like crazy, back and forth. It's like final hit. The momentum's good for both sides. We're feeling it, and then out of a minute, just reach into the background and just pick up this big, oh, look what I found! Judo trip! And then bam, win the whole game on it. It's such a sequence breaker almost, isn't it? Where it's just like, I take a turn, you take a turn, I take a turn. Oh, look what I found! Pick this up. Anyway, game one. in favor of Macaran, and the big takeaway from that, Chef, you're going up against someone who flawless blocks all of your stuff, normally seen as a weakness of Scarlet. Macaran used that against Merco, and that is impressive.
Yeah, that is the true signature of a character specialist, is turning weaknesses into strengths, because it shows your opponent is going to do something at any given point in time, and you know that because of the quote-unquote weakness of your character. So Macaran always continuing to impress, but still, you know, does not have an easy path. Needs to win 2 more. Wow, neutral ducked the grab, but didn't get a punish on the side of Merco.
Wow! That's a rather significant hitbox. Push back once again. Merco seems a little bit unsure, and even then, not flawless blocking. I honestly feel that first game has put a little bit of nerves in Merco's head for, I'm blocking the string, like, I can flawless block, but does he know I'm going to? Does he even want me to at this point? He must find himself in a rather difficult position. Not really sure what to do.
Yeah. Just mixed by the non-mix. Oh, and the wake-up buttons. Merco is just not having a fun time with wake-up buttons today. Oh, nice.
Oh,
that's a full conversion. That's it.
Come close.
Macaran, the pain train, keep on a rolling. Merco, he's looking a little bit in trouble here. What? Walk forward.
What? I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I think Merco is in a lot of trouble, and Merco needs to find some sort of like style change right now, because this is looking to be just 100%. Oh, that was a really unfortunate grab whiff. That was an attempt to punish the roll a little bit too far, a little bit too slow.
Roll into down 2. Love it. Short hop into throw. Love it.
Oh, wow. No, I don't know what that was. Was that an attempt to interactable off the standing 4, or just a complete whiff?
Might have been. Either way, there's
really.
DOS.
Yeah, this is turning around very quickly for Merco, but Macaran does have the fatal blow, which we know is, I would say, one of the better fatal blows in the game. Oh, the overhead. Little bits of damage. Went for the crushing blow, but didn't get punished. This is pretty good.
The pickup!
Okay, didn't bait the breakaway. That was an attempt to bait the breakaway for sure. There's still tons of damage.
Lord, but even without the breaker, it just barely scaled, if at all.
Oh my god, that almost killed. That actually almost killed. Went further overhead. Punish. Punish, that's dead.
Oh.
That is dead. Oh my gosh, almost got the chip out. Look at that. Macaran is down to 1 defensive bar because Last Breath actually saved his life. Oh, Merco was just slightly out of range to get just a few more hits. 2 more hits of chip right there, and that would have been it. But instead, it was a very nice punish. It's very easy to actually drop that punish, but Macaran was on point without the forward 4. And Chef, now, you know, we said, go ahead.
How did that do so much damage, by the way? That was a string into a down 1 pickup. If he broke, it would have done even more. That's the scary thing.
If he broke, it would have killed, which is, yes, absolutely terrifying. I don't know. I didn't expect to do that much damage. The down 1 pickup, I thought was going to scale it a lot more. Like, if it was just 4-4-3, it would have been like, okay, yeah, that's a lot of damage. But it's Scarlet. It's Scarlet's fatal blow. That's the only answer to it, right? I mean, we've seen it a million times, but I mean, hey. Did I not, like, 10 seconds prior to that, just say, yeah, Scarlet's Fatal Blow might be one of the best in the game in its own weird way? And
did.
Definitely showed that quite well with that huge comeback, honestly. The back 2 could have been punished, the overhead, but you know what? Merco just wasn't ready for it. And now Merco has to make some sort of huge change. We are going to see the Helport cancel, aka the Teleport cancel. I read out the full name that time, which is, of course, a big change here. It is going to control the neutral a little bit more, but if you cancel, it's exactly like we saw in the Noob Saibot matchups. Scarlet's damage is huge. It's just very easy to break away the first hit of it. So this could be a very quick turnaround, especially because you're losing damage and then you're enabling more damage for the opponent for the ability to cancel that teleport.
Not to mention, at the same time, you're not able to break it away. You're not able to deny the lifesteal if that's what Macaran decides to go for. So you're definitely trading one utility for another one rather significantly here. Clearly, though, this Searing Rage just has not been working for Merco in this matchup, and I think being able to cancel this teleport, change the neutral, and above all else, actually having that Burning Spear, making the grab more powerful. It's a change significant enough that it might just give him an edge. A bit of a reset before the reset even takes place. But that, letting it rock, a massive risk. But with the Fatal Blow locked and loaded, maybe Merco can make something happen with this. Oh, God! What? I just... Oh, man, just did it, Chef!
Why even do that at that point? That is like a huge amount of overkill. That was a really interesting choice. I mean, obviously it won the round, and it's put Macaran on tournament point to potentially 3-0 this set. Although we did see that from the winners finals, where Merco did find one moment in this exact spot and then started to mount a comeback. But I don't understand what that read was at all. Macaran is just unbelievable right now.
However, we are going to get some better throws. 16% thanks to the buff. I pick up. Yeah, no fatal blow this time. Sorry, mate, used it. And obviously, you know, we just started the round.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wake up. More flawless blocks.
Yeah.
It just seems like in this grand finals, Macaran's got Merco's number. Like, it really is as simple as that so far. Fatal blow ready. Block. Again. Oh, the interruption!
Oh, so fast. Just one hit away, too. Oh, wait. This is huge. No defensive bar. The mix is coming. Fatal blow is available for Merco. Oh, anticlimactic, but chipped to death. Nice little moments right there. It's so easy to choke that out, but Macaran, unbelievable play today. 3-0 in grand finals. I said we were going to have a long set. Instead, we got a beautiful painting in record time.
I really wish we could edit in real time that she paints things relevant to the tournament. It should just, like that right there should just be painting. Instead of that picture, it should just be a frame of Scarlet doing the flawless block up too, because that was like one of the best things that kept him through the day. Or maybe Scarlet's fatal blow initial grab that she does. Right, great tournament. Amazing grand finals. We said at the start of the day that Macaran is widely regarded as the #1 Scarlet player in the world, and this top 8 was a prime example as to why we believe that. The biggest thing to take away from the actual grand finals themselves was information that Macaran had clearly remembered from the winners final. In those final few games, Macaran was doing loads of strings that have flawless blockable gaps in them. I must sneeze, excuse me.
Yeah, bless you.
Don't worry. My point, though, was that the flawless blocks were almost 100% accurate, and that is normally considered one of Scarlet's absolute biggest weaknesses. However, the staggers into the immediate one where it was 1-2 fatal blow in the first game, that was a message. And then it was staggering it into other buttons, staggering it into a forward throw because you're tapping block to flawless block, which means you can't tech the throw. Like, he's fighting someone who is doing stuff that is normally used to defeat Scarlet, and he's using it against you. That is unbelievably smart.
Yeah, Macaran, honestly, was just like top of the line months ago, and honestly just been going up and up, I think, in my eyes over the past few months. In fact, winning, I think, one of the previous PlayStation tournaments, maybe not the previous one because the previous one's a Fight Nights, but I think the one right before that might have been FGC Arcade that Macaran won, but just so ridiculously dominant, and for such good reason. I'm just loving this improvement even this late into the game, right? But that's what we were starting to see with these character specialists, and I mean, honestly, just both those players, so amazing. Two players in the grand finals that have like really maybe rethink how characters should be played and how good characters actually are. But yeah, just amazing stuff overall. I really cannot upsell Macaran enough. It's part of why I love watching EU so much, is players like Macaran and Merco. But also, I'm so glad we get to see new players today that were really showing off some really strong play and some unique play styles that worked really well against these players that are obviously top of the line.
Couldn't agree more, Chef. But guess what, folks? That was just half of today's entertainment. Now, we're going to be preparing and getting ready for the North American part of the action. But it's not just, as I said, MK11 that's covered here on PlayStation Tournaments. We've got Tekken 7 coming up. We've got FIFA coming up. I mean, there's more games to be played, and all of it can be found at compete.playstation.com. You're one click away from starting your competitive journey, so what are you waiting for? We're going to be waiting a little bit to set up North America on this side of Fight Nights. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If this is where you leave us, thank you. If you're going to be taking a break with us, we'll tune in and see some more MK11. My name has been Ketchup, joined by Wonder Chef. This is PlayStation Tournaments Fight Nights. We'll be back shortly with Mortal Kombat 11, North America, Top 8. See you there.
my god!
PlayStation